Hey yo, GG's, Dundadas, hyenas, scuba dives to learn from Scuba Steve was criminal, y'all. I rock with the King X. Don't forget the Kennedy doing his millennium mantra on YouTube. We conducting ourselves in the most righteous of dollars. We staying more coherent than ever. The dollar life's what you make it. You can't love it. You can't hate it. Simply what you make it. The dollar. We in the elevator. Who's elevated? God's elevator. On way to the top, GG. God told you because he knew he could trust you. You God's best kept secret. Hyenas. Ahoo. This is what it is, GG's, Dundadas, hyenas, scuba dives, learn from Scuba Steve. Everybody has a life, Dundada. And everybody has an opinion in their life or in life, GG. You know what I'm saying? And right now, everybody's saying that everybody's celebrating Big Meech, GG. And it's okay if you want to celebrate Big Meech. Celebrate Big Meech if you want to celebrate Big Meech. But Cuffy's just giving his opinion on the situation. And Cuffy's saying his opinion on his life, on what's going on with him, So it's just his opinion, but it's his life, So he's trying to say, like, yo, this is what it is with me, But the real don't get the real don't get notarized, So this is what it is, If they trying to say the real ain't getting notarized, if they trying to say that I can't have my say in what's going on, because you gotta have your say, and we can't just make stuff up and just be like, yo, this man right here is just simply lying, because he got his daughter up there, So we gonna give him. You gonna give him the credit. You gonna gotta give this man the same respect that you give anybody else, That's what we gonna do. We gonna have to give this man the same respect that we give everybody else, or it's just not gonna be, You just can't have it like that, So at the end of the day, we gonna have to give Cuffy the same respect that anybody else get and let his opinion get heard. No one's saying don't be on Big Meech. Don't jack Big Meech. You want to jack Big Meech? You want to glaze Big Meech? That's on you, You could glaze. You could do whatever you want, That's on you, We're not telling you to not be on Big Meech side, Like, more or less, we just saying, like, yo, this is what it is. And there's people that was in the game, that has the same, we can't say the same amount because we ain't pocket watching, but that was up there and combined the lawyers that anybody could afford, which is Supreme Mcgriff, and he's like, yo, I ain't go out like that, I'm not going out like that, my jacket is clean, so don't put me on with the jacket with anybody else. Business is just business. So if I did see you in here, remember, we was just in here, It's not on no situation. It's two different people, and Supreme Mcgriff's like, yo, I just can't go and have a series myself, because if I have a series about my life, myself, I'm trying to get out of here, I can't get out. So if I have a season about my life, what the hell they're going? That's like drive. Why would I self-snitch on me, I know everybody's used to self-snitching, but what I'm saying, but I bet Supreme Mcgriff's story will go crazy because they actually with all the violence and everything that people love to see, I'm saying the public view eye, but this is not what we're saying, we saying if you want to be on Big Meech side, be on Big Meech side. If you want to be on Cuffy side, Cuffy just trying to give you his opinion. We can't just say, yo, Cuffy, you're lying. Yo, no, we're not saying that. There's not one person that said Cuffy's lying, There's not one person that said Cuffy's lying. So if Cuffy's not lying, then what that means, you know what I'm saying? What that means. So Big Meech is like, yo, I would never stand next to Rick Ross. I mean, Supreme's like, yo, I would never stand next to Rick Ross. I would never stand next to certain individuals, So if Supreme's like, yo, I can't stand next to these individuals just because who I am, or what's going on, or anything in a violence like he just want positive. He just want to say positive shit. He don't want to be dragged through the mud. But at the end of the day, did his son get a lot of light shedded on who he is and what's going on with him, Can you really say, yo, because this is a new time, he stick by the code, his code, he's gonna stick by the code, but his son's over here trying to, you know what I'm saying? He's doing some marketing shit, you know what I'm saying? He's standing on business, so he's doing what he's doing, GG. But at the end of the day, these dudes, they're like, yo, why you don't put my name in it, trying to get, cause people trying to get, they trying to get, they getting they shit and they getting they shit mixed up like everybody's together, but everybody's not together, and if niggas is not together, then they don't want to see what's going on with what the people got to see, that's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is. Shit get real hectic real quick, GG, and that's a fact, GG.
Due to recent events, the elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend, Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son, Kyle Robertson, I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Robertson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller. I was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family.
Yo, bro, Dundada, he is not standing on like this is what it is, bro. Supreme's a real one. Supreme's like, yo, I had the same options, Dundada, that Meech had, Dundada, and I could third party do this and third party do that and third party do that to think, but that shit's not gonna work, Dundada. He took it to the door, so he's like, yo, Big Meech is all over here getting celebrated. But what about Irv Gotti, nigga? He's a real one. He took it to the fucking door, Dundada. He took it to the door. And everybody like, yo, 50 Cent will still work with him. He already knew it, though. He been knew it, Dundada. He been knew it. Been knew what? What did he been knew? I would like to tell you, answer this question, bro. I would like to, yo, GG's. Been knew what? What did 50 Cent been know? What did 50 Cent been know? That he third party car, like what did he been know? Like we would love to know what did he been know and what the fuck does that mean? And what that means for a person, an individual like Supreme Mcgriff, that's standing down that told Irv Gotti to take it to the motherfucking door, that told Irv, you good, take it to the door. Irv could have folded. He could have did a third party cooperation, Irv could have folded like a mug, he could have just, you know what I'm saying? So we just can't be bigging everybody up or doing this or doing that just because they good people. It's black and white, plain and cut, it's simple as it gets, likes what you make it, bro, and you gonna make it how you make it. We're not taking nothing from what you did or what you done or who you are, we just saying what it is, so niggas just won't have the false narrative because they have real people like Mcgriff, that's standing righteous, that's standing strong, that's standing on business, that could do or did what anybody else could do, that could have put the apple on anybody. Who knows what people know about who knows how much shit people know about and people stood so tall that it's just not a thing. So we can't have that shit going on, and we don't know if, you know what I'm saying, if Supreme's actually standing behind these other dudes, like standing behind these other dudes, but he's like, what the fuck?
I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son. He is my son, and I love him. But I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet. I let him know men don't argue and beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence. He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats talking about we. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence.
He's like, who is we, Me and Prince, we're not promoting threats of violence, and we not even associating with the people that you associating with, What are you talking about? We're not associating with this. We're not vouching for Big Meech, the Dada. We in here, the Dada. Sit down, sit tall, the Dada. You think we vouching, the Dada? They're not vouching, bro. They're not trying to vouch, the Dada. They feel like niggas is playing a dirty game, the Dada. And that shit would have never happened probably if Preem was out. The Dada, his son would have never been in certain places that he was at. The Dada, he probably would have never been ever across the spot. He probably would have never been at these spots because these people obviously ain't having it, the Dada.
We different. We are masters of self-defense. If you ain't talking about positivity or growth and goals, keep your mouth shut. That goes for everybody. Rest in peace, little bro. And mourn in peace, the entire Lorenzo family.
Okay, y'all just heard it from Supreme. Kenneth Mcgriff, y'all just heard it for himself that he's denounced his son's behavior. He denounced Little Supreme, out there getting on the net, speaking all this madness. Look what the man say. If it's not about promoting positivity, all that drama at this stage in his life, hey,
it ain't worth it. The Dada, it's not worth it, bro. He ain't trying to. Shit got real, the Dada. Shit got real, the Dada. And niggas ain't having it. And niggas ain't having it, bro. Niggas ain't having it. Well,
to some woman named Tammy Cohens, right? Now, everybody else around the big Meech BMF atmosphere was like, yo, why did you not give your life rights? I know you were locked up for a long time. Why didn't you give it to your wife? Why didn't you give it to your kids? Why did you give it to this person? It was later theorized that this person, Tammy Cohens, was basically coerced to be a government informant to testify or to give information to the government as exchange for Big Meech getting shorter time in prison.
And once you work with the government, what that mean? That you always working with the government? Like, how does that work?
So that's the story.
Man, otherwise from this nigga putting on a necklace on Big Meech, this video is very interesting. And before we continue, please remember to drop a like. So, what I want y'all to know, man, things are getting really serious with Big Meech and 50 Cent, man. And even though Big Meech is keeping it real G, not trying to overplay his role in this, not
Supreme ain't vouching for that type of shit, the Dada. Supreme and Prince, the Dada, don't ever associate Supreme and Prince, the Dada, with some shit. The Dada. It's two different levels, the Dada. They actually in a whole different ball game, the Dada, and that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that, yo, at the end of the day, yeah, they want to Meech the Dada, but they ain't really want Meech the Dada because they actually wanted Cuffy, because Cuffy the Dada, he actually was on standing on business with a couple situations, and that's not actually a situation, the Dada. So with him being that type of person, the Dada, it upped the ball game. Like, yo, we want him, the Dada. We could get him for this, and they like, oh yeah, the Dada. Look at the smile, the Dada. It gets spooky real quick, but Supreme ain't having that. Supreme is like, yo, the Dada, you know where we come from, the Dada. Like, nah, it's a whole different ballgame. That's what it is, the Dada. It's two different life levels, the Dada. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro.
trying to, be an internet gangster going back and forth with 50 Cent. But niggas who ride for BMF, they want to put some smoke on 50, man. And this ain't no allegation. This is facts. Like, we get to work, man. When it's allegation, it's allegation. When it is facts, it is facts. You have niggas who see Big Meech come out saying, oh, OG's back. It's all love. We'll do anything for you. What next, boss? Like that type of shit, man. And I don't want to get into too much of that, but just know this is facts 100%, man. That niggas want to ride for Big Meech right now, man. But, it's way bigger than that, man, because
way more people want to ride for Big Meech the Dada, because Big Meech is different. He looked out for a lot of people. But Supreme the Dada, he's not vouching, bro. He's not in there. He's not vouching. He's a solid individual. He said, "Nah, I'm not vouching. The data, I can't vouch. The data, and if he can't vouch, that means that he can't vouch, GG. That means that Supreme is standing out. He lives by a whole different code. That he lives by a whole different. It's a whole different atmosphere. The data, when you know what I'm saying, when they trying to put different stuff on you, the data is a whole different atmosphere. But guess what? Supreme could take that route if he wanted to. Guess what? The data, nah.
You know, even if Big Meech wanted to smoke 50, it's way bigger than that. You can't just make a move like that, man. And 50 Cent can't just make a move with Big Meech like that, even if he wanted to smoke Big Meech. But you gotta understand, man, bosses operate different from thugs, man. Street thugs, you know, just do whatever, man, and then think about the consequences after. A boss gonna think all, you know, scenarios that could play out that could put them in an uncomfortable spot or even in
that shit. But y'all understand that they put each other in an uncomfortable spot, but playing with certain people's, they saying that, oh yeah, look at 50 Cent was playing with Big Meech's Big Meech's son, the daughter, but look at y'all playing with Supreme Mcgriff son, the daughter, dude. I don't think they understand who Supreme Mcgriff is, and if they think that Big Meech ain't nothing to play with, the daughter, they really gonna feel like Supreme ain't really nothing to fucking play with, the daughter, cause it gets spooky when you talk about your boy Mcgriff, the daughter. He done, you know what I'm saying? It gets real spooky real quick. You gotta stay coherent in the shadows, done. It gets real hectic, bro.
in danger. So, you know, I know Big Meech ain't gonna approve that call, man. You know, unless the cycle decided he want to take it up into his own end. You have cycles like that, you got to keep them under control, man. Because a nigga won't say shit, man, and just make a move for you, just to prove to you, to show his loyalty, and then afterwards you're in a bigger mess trying to clean shit up, man. It's like that for real. But anyways, before I continue, I want to say, remember, we do not support hate over here. It's always love. It's only love. We do not support hate to no one. It's only love. I want to be clear on all my videos. But man, as I said, man, Big Meech and 50, man, even though it's getting serious on both sides, because, you know, the street, man, always stalking me. But 50 Cent and Big Meech really understand that, you know, it would be a good move to move against each other, you know, physically, you know, and it's good for business, man.
Right? All this shit is good for business, GG. This is all good for business, bro. But they might as well just kept working, bro. After this, they might as well have kept working. But let's see who is, because people don't understand the data. Like Supreme ain't vouching because who is Supreme Mcgriff, the data. That's a fact, the data. And we gonna get right. We're gonna have to get right into it, the data. We're gonna have to get right into it, the data. Who is Supreme Mcgriff? Like why and this and Big Meech? This is real.
A lot of money. A lot of dudes were starting their way into the game to become drug kingpins. And also the younger dudes that was coming up looked up to that lifestyle and they wanted to be like these dudes. They wanted the attention from the girls, the jewelry.
But this ain't the Nonviolence Association, the data. This ain't the Nonviolence Association. These people is actually standing on business, the data. And it seems a sort of way that you could tell by their demeanor and you could tell by their character that they don't want to be involved with the mediocre shit and a lot of shit. And that's what put an eye on, yo, why just Preem came out, like, why Preem would disown his son? Bro, his son's over there with Rick Ross. His son's over there with Southwest T. It says over there. Maybe you don't know how he's thinking. You don't know who this man is. You don't know what he knows. He's a smart individual. So he's going to conduct that. He knows all the trickery, and he knows about the trickery. And he knows what people be doing. And it gets real spooky when you actually go against the state.
Story, the money, the power, and also at this time it was real easy to get into the game. So with him being a member of the 5% Nation, they gave him the name Supreme. And in the neighborhood, Supreme had a little crew of guys that he was teaching the 5% lessons to, so these little guys could have knowledge of self and could, being that he was giving them the lessons. Supreme titled his little crew the Supreme Team. The year is 1985, and the Supreme Team is now in the drug game, selling little nickels and dimes on the streets of Southside Jamaica, Queens. Supreme and his crew began getting so much money off the drug game, he purchased a bulletproof 500 Mercedes-Benz, and that's what he would drive around Queens in with members of the Supreme Team. But there was another dude in Queens who was really, really getting money, and this is the dude who Kenneth Supreme Mcgriff was getting his drugs from to sell on the streets, and this man goes by the name of Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. Now, Fat Cat is the Supreme Team's main supplier, and I will be covering the Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols story in a future episode. In 1985, the feds arrest Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols on drug conspiracy and weapons charges. After Fat Cat got locked up, Supreme and his crew was making $200,000 to $300,000 a day off selling crack on the streets of Queens.
I want to make a special dedication to my man, my brother, who ain't with us right now. He with us in heart and mind. Fat Cat.
But in 1987, Supreme and some members of the Supreme Team are arrested and indicted on drug charges. Now, even with Supreme being the ringleader of this whole organization, he only gets 10 years in prison. While Supreme is serving his 10-year bid, there are still members of the Supreme Team that are left on the streets of Queens. The person that took over the crew while Supreme was inside was a guy by the name of Gerald Prince Miller. And this dude, Prince, didn't tolerate nothing. People started...
You see, So Preem already did time in jail, So he knows how the government plays, and he knows what's going on with the government and this and that, and how you work deals and all this other things, He's been in jail, So either you gonna fight it or you doing your time, That's just what it is, So the time cuts and the time this and the time that. I don't think Preem's on that type of business, bro. Preem ain't standing on. He ain't vouching. He's not vouching.
To wind up dead on the streets of Queens. The feds knew about a total of 8 people that were killed by the Supreme Team while Gerald Prince Miller was in charge, while Supreme was doing his 10-year bid. Hold on, let me take the story back a little bit for y'all. In 1985, Fat Cat was already on the feds' radar. I don't know for what reason, but they wanted him. They also knew that Fat Cat was on parole. So one day, Fat Cat...
It's 9:15. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat.
I thought Grammarly just fixed...
Shit just got real.
Goes in to see his PO, whose name is Brian Rooney. And when Fat Cat goes to see his PO, he's arrested for violating his parole and is sent back to jail to finish a 14-year sentence. So now Fat Cat is locked up, furious, behind his parole officer violating him and throwing him back in jail, because there is no way out of this. You have to finish the 14 years. A few days later,
imagine Fat Cat was like, hold on. Let me do a third party to Supreme Griff. Imagine how that would you see that we got to put the variables up there. That's these people was damn GG.
Parole officer Brian Rooney was leaving work with a co-worker that he was dropping off somewhere before he went home for the night. Shortly after dropping off the person, parole officer Brian Rooney was headed home when two dudes in a vehicle rolled up right next to his car, pulled out guns and opened fire on his vehicle, killing Officer Rooney. While Supreme was locked up, once again, the feds knew about a total of 8 murders that the Supreme team was involved in, but they didn't charge Supreme with those murders, even though they knew he was the leader of the.
He's locked up, GG, and bodies is falling, GG. This is crazy. This is what, like, it's not even like, yo, this is what I'm trying to say. So imagine Fat Cat gets knocked off and goes, oh damn, I'm knocked off now. I need a time cut. You know what I'm saying? That don't come into conclusion. That's what Prim says. Like, it don't even come into conclusion. That type of shit don't come into conclusion because them people already, you know what I'm saying? They've been in jail already. They've been doing shit since body in jail.
The crew, he wasn't charged because he was already incarcerated at that time. This is 1987. Now, after what happened to the parole officer on Sutphin Boulevard, the police in Queens are now on a sweep, and they're snatching up everybody, every little organization in the neighborhoods, trying to get people to talk so they can find out who did this to parole officer Rooney. During the sweep, one day police run up on a member of the Supreme team who goes by the name of Pappy Mason. They throw Pappy Mason up against the wall and they search him, and they find a .22 Dillinger pistol hidden inside of his boot. Pappy Mason is then arrested. Pappy Mason, real short-tempered, didn't tolerate.
Bro, the Fat Cat, Pappy Mason. Yo, these people need a series, Dada. These people need a series, Dada. Like, what, like, yo, like, what is going on? Like, this is a different type of situation right here, Dada. This is actually what people actually were trying to, but hey, this is what life, like, shit gets brutal real quick, bro.
Anything kind of guy on the streets of South Jamaica, Queens. He was known to shoot you, stab you, whatever, in a heartbeat and wouldn't think anything of it. That's what kind of dude Pappy Mason was. But the police's main objective was to find out who did this to the parole officer. Now, Pappy Mason is on Rikers Island, and he's mad because Pappy Mason felt like the police shouldn't have stopped him. He shouldn't have been arrested. And like I said, Pappy Mason was the kind of guy that didn't tolerate anything, no kind of disrespect whatsoever. So Pappy Mason felt like the police targeted him and that they did him wrong and he wasn't supposed to be in jail, and he was mad because of that. So while on Rikers Island, Pappy Mason called to the streets of Queens and told his boys to violate any police that y'all see on the block. There was an old Guyanese man named Arjun that lived on 107th Avenue and Inwood Street in South Jamaica, Queens. Now, Arjun was a working man who wanted to stand up against the drug dealers on his block. He would constantly call the cops and make complaints about the drug dealers that was in front of his house and on the block. Well, the dealers on the block happened to find out that Arjun is...
This is a person. This is a person. Imagine you talking to the cops. These people actually, didn't they just say that a cop just passed away? And didn't, like, they are, yo, they, and you think that they talking to, they not Meech. They're not vouching for Meech, bro. These people is not vouching for Meech, bro. These people, serious people, they're not vouching for Meech. And this is a person who just happens to be calling the boys to the block, making little phone calls. This ain't even what Meech did. Imagine what if they was. Imagine Meech was running with them. What? It's a whole different level, GG. You know what I'm saying? Be careful.
The person making the complaints, sending the police to the block. One night while Arjun was sitting in his living room on the couch watching TV, someone threw a Molotov cocktail through Arjun's living room window, setting his living room on fire. Arjun was not injured in the attack, but the attack was a warning from the dealers outside to let Arjun know that they knew that he was the person calling the police on them. After the firebombing, one day, one of the dealers spotted Arjun getting into his
Shit got real spooky real quick. And this is a person that's just calling the boys.
car leaving work. He approaches Arjun's car and threatens him and tells Arjun that him and his family have a week to get out of the neighborhood. Arjun then contacts the police. To protect Arjun, police from the 103rd precinct assigned 22-year-old rookie cop Edward Byrne to patrol Arjun's block and make sure he's safe. Let's take the story back a little bit. Remember when Pappy Mason called from Rikers Island and told his homeboys on the streets to violate the first police that they see on the block? On February 26, 1988, on 107th Avenue.
And they didn't, he just meant to just be like, oh yeah, just to beat their ass or something. This is way before the daughter. This has nothing to do with this situation, but this situation is this situation. This is
Avenue and Inwood Street at around 3 o'clock in the morning. Officer Burns was sitting in his patrol car reading a book when a car with
this is the type of hatred that these gentlemen the pre-team these people that got towards the boys you think that these people have any tolerance for any type of mediocre, any type of gimmicks, any type of taking pictures with Rick Ross, doing anything that got to do with anything even if Big Meech did that with the third party corroboration to Cuffy, this Pappy Mason, this Fat Cat, this Supreme, this Prince, this all these people, imagine they could have did it to each other, so this is what they thinking, they ain't not thinking how people, they thinking different.
4 dudes in it pulled up beside his car. 2 dudes got out the car and one of them knocked on his passenger side window. When Officer Burns turns to see what he wants, another dude crept around to the driver's side. And while Officer Burns was talking, the dude on the driver's side shoots Officer Burns in the head 5 times, killing him. The other 2 dudes was holding him down as
what the 5 times? Yo. This is crucial.
lookouts as these 2 dudes just did this. The killing of Officer Burns sparked one of the biggest drug sweeps in New York history after the President of the United States, who was George Bush at the time, got on national TV.
The President of the United States, this went to the presidency, this went to the presidency, This is a whole different type of level of, this is, where's these life rights at,
TV and had Officer Burns' badge in his hand, and he said, we are going to get whoever is responsible for the murder of this young man. Now, tear those comments up, because if you a person that's from that era and you from Queens, then you would know that after George Bush got on TV and said that with that officer's badge in his hand, the police went crazy in Queens.
Messing with this dude, 50 might not have been doing the shows, but we gotta put that all to the past, 50, we need you, because this is a story, it's for Queens, it's for Queens, real shit, it's from Queens, GG. So let's get right, let's get right. It's from Queens, you know what I'm saying? Put it to the side, GG, give them they story, GG. You heard? Ain't nothing,
So the feds knew that there was only 2 people.
But do you honestly think these people is vouching for Meech? The data business is business. Stop playing with these people's name. The data, their name is not to be played with. They said their name is not to be handled without being handled. They name should be handled gently. The data, their name should be handled with positivity. The data, their name should be handled righteously. The data, because they say they stood biz and they ain't really trying to, you know what I'm saying, be, you know what I'm saying, they got some different type of way morals, way dignity. It's coming straight full force. The data, it's not coming halfway. The data, you know what I'm saying, it's not coming in the stunting ways, it's not coming in the shining ways, it's coming in their way. The data, the real dignity way. The data, and they trying to say that Irv Gotti passed away and everybody's playing around with all this name and all this going back and forth and all this stuff, but they say he's a solid one, that's what they trying to say, they saying that people y'all keep trying to big up Big Meech, but what about Irv Gotti, big him up real quick and then get back to the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Shit is real out here. People are dying. People don't want to hear none of that shenanigans. People want to hear some real life stories, some real, you know what I'm saying, some real situations that's happening,
Powerful enough to have something like this done. And those 2 people were the 2 people that were already in custody. And those people were Pappy Mason and Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. So the first person that the feds started looking into was Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. So what the feds do is they obtained Fat Cat's phone call records from prison to find out who is he calling the most. And it comes to find out, as big as this guy is on the street, the only person he seems to be contacting is his sister. So the feds wiretap Fat Cat's sister's house phone. And in the process of the feds trying to find out if Fat Cat set up the killing of Officer Byrne, they find out that Fat Cat's sister is helping him run his drug operation. What was funny about Fat Cat's sister, the feds said that when Fat Cat would call, she would always say, "I feel like my phone is being tapped. Don't
you see?" He said, yo, this is crazy, GG. This is crazy. He said, bro, he left his organization or whatever the case may be to his sister, to his people, someone that he could trust. He's not going to put it in an agent's hand. He's not going to put it in a CI's hand. He's not putting it in some regular shorty's hand to go, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, bro. These people is different individuals. So that respect them. Please don't mishandle their names, bro.
say anything, but in the next breath, she would start blurbing out freely on the phone about everything that was going on, the drugs, who was coming to get it, how much money was being made, everything. I want to stop the story for a minute because you know what's funny about this? If you from the street and you listening to me right now, what I'm about to say, you probably can relate to this. You ever been on the phone with somebody and the person that you're on the phone with go, I ain't gonna talk too crazy over the phone, but you heard what happened, right? And you go, yeah, I heard what happened, but what went down with that? And then
check this out. I'm gonna show you how I afforded this car.
That shit always happens, Gigi. That shit always happens.
Okay, you ready?
That's just crazy.
Person that just said he not gonna talk too crazy over the phone, he ends up going, yeah, you heard so-and-so did that. Yo, bro, you just said you just gave away the person that the police is looking for. So what was the whole purpose of you saying you not gonna talk crazy over the phone? I just had to bring that up because I've been on the phone with people like that and I would hang the phone.
Facts that are like, why did you just call me to tell me anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now you could, you know what I'm saying? Just let it be known that it's just, it gets spooky real quick, but that's people in the streets.
Phone up and go, damn, well, you just told me on the phone that you wasn't going to talk crazy over the phone about it, but at the end of the conversation, you end up giving away the person that actually did it and more. So that's how Fat Cat's sister was. This dude, Fat Cat, would call his sister's house sometimes 2-3 times a day, every day. And his sister would get on the phone. And like I said, she would say, don't talk crazy on the phone because I think my line is tapped. But she would go right ahead and forget she even said that and blab about everything that went on that day and everything else. They also found out through
He's not
Fat
doing it.
Cat's sister who set up the killing of Officer Byrne. When Fat Cat's sister asked him on the phone, why did Pappy Mason have them dudes go out there and do that? And that the neighborhood was hot and that you couldn't get no money on the streets behind him having them dudes go out there and kill that cop. Soon after, the 4 dudes who killed Officer Byrne is arrested and charged for the murder, and Pappy Mason is also charged for setting it up from the inside. One of the 4 men in the Officer Byrne's case.
Damn, that is crazy, GG.
Confesses to the feds that he has information on the Brian Rooney case. He then confesses and tells the feds that Pappy Mason and another dude is who killed parole officer Brian Rooney. Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols put a hit out on his parole officer because he thought that if his parole officer wasn't alive anymore, somehow his case would get overturned and he would get out of jail and wouldn't have to serve the 14-year sentence for the killing of parole.
This is the type of people that you think, yo, Gigi. This is the type of people that you think, nah, they ain't vouching. They staying solid, GG.
Officer Brian Rooney and running a continuous drug enterprise from the insides of the federal penitentiary. Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols was given life without parole and sent to Florence, Colorado's ADX maximum security prison. And for setting up the murder of rookie cop Edward Byrne, Pappy Mason also received life without parole and was also sent to Florence, Colorado's ADX Supermax prison for the rest of his life. The shooters received life without parole. The feds arrest Fat Cat's sister and also Fat Cat's mother, who I believe the feds say was holding money for Fat Cat. The feds also had Fat Cat's mother on the phone talking with his sister about the drug operation. Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols ended up cooperating with the federal government, and he agreed with the feds to plead guilty to all the charges under one condition, and that condition would be that his mother be released from prison. The feds agreed, and Fat Cat's mother was released. If I'm not mistaken, I think his sister ended up doing like 5 years or something like that. A decade later, Kenneth Supreme Mcgriff comes home from federal prison and immediately jumps right back into his old drug dealing days lifestyle and begins selling cocaine again, this time trying to align himself with the now powerful music industry. Supreme teams up with music mogul at the time, Irv Gotti, who was also from Queens. Irv Gotti was the CEO of one of the most talked about record labels at that time, Murder Inc. Records, where at that time was the home of platinum selling artists Ja Rule and Ashanti. But Supreme ends up getting busted by the feds again for distributing cocaine and also for setting up the murder of a local rapper and stick-up kid who went by the name of E Moneybags. Kenneth Supreme Mcgriff's most famous beef is the one that he had with the rapper 50 Cent, where allegedly he had the rapper 50 Cent shot 9 times. Kenneth Supreme Mcgriff is now at Florence, Colorado's ADX Supermax prison serving a life sentence. Thank you for watching. It's your man Supreme.
That's crazy. She gets real, Dada. So you think people like that, Dada, is vouching? That's why he's so mad at his son, bro. That's why he's so mad at his son, Dada. Because he's like, yo, bro, you don't see what's going on, Dada. His name is way bigger. His story is way bigger. His story is way bigger, Dada. So why the hell would he want his son, Dada, around what's going on? Around Rick Ross, around these people, Dada. He's just like, he just don't mishandle his name, bro. That's what happened. Don't mishandle his name, Dada. And it gets crazy, Dada. But Cuffy, this is why the situation, why Supreme probably is upset. You know why his name is handled. situation.
Called Big Meech a rat. Yesterday, I did a video on Rick Ross saying he was going to start the Big Meech movie. And since then, 50 Cent responded and posted a TMZ article saying, Rick Ross, BMF film, impossible because 50 Cent owns TV and film rights. And in the caption, he say, it's cool though, just say whatever you want. So it's clear 50 Cent will block anything Big Meech try to do. And he will not be doing no BMF business with Rick Ross. 50 Cent playing a cold game of chess right now. And since then, he's made multiple posts going at Big Meech. But the one that stood out to me the most was the one he made on Gene Deal. Because Gene Deal called out 50 Cent for saying Big Meech snitch. And he talked about 50 Cent paperwork.
I believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm going to become a rat. And I'm going to have my girl tell on my mans in them. She's going to be a third-party cooperating witness. Let me just say this to my man 50.
Yo, that shit sounds crazy, nigga. That shit sounds crazy, yo. That shit sounds crazy. Gene Deal just made that shit sound crazy, and if that shit is what happened. Because Cuffy said that, I mean, we're going to find out, I think. I don't know if that's what happened, but this is what they saying that happened. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. That shit sounded crazy.
Remember, God bless the dead, I guess, whatever. I don't give a shit. Irv Gotti and them tried to put that paperwork out on you, and Chaz had me check it out, and you said they tried to say that you snitched, went to the DA and did all that, and I found out what happened, that the DJ and the engineer told the police and the prosecutor who was all involved and everything, who was all there, and they put your name as a like you're going to be a protective witness on the paperwork, and you ain't know nothing about it. Did y'all ever think that this girl was so much in love with Meech that she was willing to give up her body to a cop and do whatever she could do to get him out of jail? He said, I ain't got no dog in this, but I want y'all to think.
In the caption, he denied that the story was true, but I have heard things about 50 in the past about him being in paperwork, but I can't speak on it because I never seen it. But there was a new narrative going around that Big Meech team pressed 50 Cent and made him take down the first post he made, and Whack 100 cleared up that rumor and said he received bad information.
Yo, I have to put up a correction. Last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I got a text from some very credible dudes who said they pressed 50 to take down all the Big Meech posts, right? Once again, I got the text. I read it out loud. I was on Clubhouse. I think social media picked it up. Okay. Since then, I've learned that Screech is playing legal games, and that's the way. And the fact that he's playing the legal games is what it is. So I will show you guys the text message I got. I don't want y'all to think I'm trolling 50, right? My error. I don't want y'all to think I'm
Fifth took everything down about Meech and Little Meech. He really don't want to piss off, bro. He got too many people outside close to him. Damn, that's gangster. Who got him? He done started a firestorm. Though he can't take that back. He's still doing the doc on the bitch Tammy. I'm thinking it's because of network. Let me look into it. What up, gangster? My nigga from BMF said they got Fifth and he took all the shit down about thing. Nah, he went. Just look at the page. He took it. Shit. 50 said, my apologies. My apologies, 50. Damn, 50. We thought, you know what I'm saying? We thought shit was aggressive, but you know what I'm saying? 50 Cent dealt with more violent people than that in his own turf. So you actually think that 50 Cent is scared of Big Meech. We can't make it seem like don't make it seem like that. 50 Cent ain't scared of Big Meech. He's over here gambling with his life in his own city, in his own fucking state, in his own fucking hood, in his own fucking blocks. He's over there doing what he do. And them niggas is real life. You see what they do. So imagine you see what they do. So 50 Cent probably looking at them like, what the heck? I don't know. Y'all got me confused.
Trolling 50, right? My error. I got the information and I read it out loud. But comes to find out, I believe 50 snatched it down because Screech is he playing with the league, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna be able to play with it when that woman sit down because what she say goes. So in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna put this up, and then I'm gonna go to my story and put up the text messages.
50 Cent better watch it, she might still be under manipulation. Meech might still have her under control. Meech got that little shorty under control under his wing. Then what? You better be careful, GG. We don't never know.
So y'all see what I got, and reason why I said what I said last night. Again, correction, my apologies. 50 Cent was not pressed to take it down. Big Screech is playing with the police as he's always had. I'll continue. Have a great day.
Yo, no way, GG. This shit's different. That's why, yo, Supreme is heated right now. Supreme ain't nothing to play. Yo, that story's fucking Supreme story's something incredible. Yo, something crazy, bro. Supreme ain't having that shit. Then, yo,
I'm out.
But before we get to this Cuffy content, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes. Once we pass 100 likes, 500 likes. Once we pass 500 likes, to see the growth. But about 3 months ago, I did a video on Big Meech co-defendant Cuffy, a St. Louis kingpin, and the one that they are saying Big Meech allegedly snitched on and set him up with Tammy Cohens, which got Cuffy Gatlin 27 years. Word is he will be coming home in 18 months. And with all the drama going on between 50 Cent and Rick Ross and Big Meech, he finally broke his silence and he put his official stamp on everything 50 Cent saying about Big Meech. Shout out Dogface TV. Y'all tap in with his.
Yo, he's coming home in 18 months. Shit's about to get. No. He's coming home, Dandada, in 18 months. He shot touchdown, GG. So everybody, he shouts
his YouTube channel because he the one dropping the interview in parts. I'm reacting to the first part, but he got part 2 dropping later on today. But Cuffy definitely standing on Big Meech snitch and set him up.
Next guest is Dion Cuffy Gatlin. What's the word with you, brother?
Face, how you doing, man?
It's a pleasure and it's an honor because right now, Big Meech is on the run. I just found out that his lawyers filed a lawsuit, or they filed a precursor to a lawsuit against 50 Cent. And that's why 50 Cent took all of the posts that he made about Big Meech down, because they're trying to file a lawsuit on him. So that's what's going on right now. That's breaking news going on right now. He's trying to stymie me and shut.
We only bring you the real, Dada. We only can bring you the real content, Dada. Shit's real. Shit's so real.
Okay.
All right.
You know, most of that, what I'm hearing is coming from Stars. Yeah, he's contractually locked in with Stars.
So listen, brother. I think the best thing to do is really, because I interviewed Blue Da Vinci earlier today, and I asked him about your contributions to BMF overall, and he said that it is because there are rumors that Big Meech or Southwest T's first big payday in the game came from you or came from somebody who you were associated with. So I don't know how much of it you can talk about. I guess the case is in now. So I want you to answer as much as my questions as you possibly can. Anything you don't feel comfortable with, you can sidestep if you know you can. But I want to know, how did you meet Big Meech, and under what circumstances did you meet Big Meech and T?
I met Big Meech in the early 90s. He come to town with a friend of mine, an older gentleman. KT. We're about the same age, so we just hit it off, man. We hit it off. We started getting money together. We moved our families down to Atlanta in the early 90s. So this is nothing new. Have nothing. You know what I mean? So really the D was Lil Boy in it.
Right.
So, you know, when I heard, I'm gonna put you on 10. And that's exactly what I did.
Right. Is it true that you actually showed him the value?
This is the person. So this is why these people actually asking the question. They want to show you how close Meech is to this person. They want to show you how close these people are. This person gave him his first meal. You're going to respect anybody who give you your first meal. You're going to respect anybody who show you anything like that. You're going to respect anything that's happening. But at the end of the day, they from different states. So how close is actually Meech to this person? You know what I'm saying? And how, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, bro. He's just trying to say, yo, bro, I was low. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not right. That's what he's trying to say. But let's get it.
Or how to properly move or maneuver in the game, and that you put his first $1 million cash in his hand. Is that true?
That's very true. Like I said, I have nothing. You know, so like I said, I put his game on 10. I'm the first to put $1 million in and then 5. The words were to me was holding them back in the D.
So that's a little known fact, because most people who are not from that era, they think that Big Meech left Detroit a millionaire already. They're under the impression that when he left because he had grew too big to be here. They don't understand that that's not what was happening. Understand that some of the big Detroit were holding they on Big Meech. So he migrated to the South because that was the best thing for him to do.
No, the truth is, no, he was never that type of D. His money didn't come out of the D. His bread came out of the Lou, homie. And the reason why they went down south is so that when he did that real love, so the PA nailed him down forever.
Right.
I guess that's why when you think of Big Meech, you would think that Big Meech is actually from the ATL or something. But niggas know he's from Detroit, but he's not actually like standing on Detroit business about it. So I don't. But he probably is from, like, I don't know. But we gonna see.
Right, and that's another little known fact, because when they talk about Big Meech and T and BMF overall in Detroit, they always stay on Southwest. They never talk about the contribution that the Puritan Ave or the PA or these made in terms of initially holding him down, protecting him, and really kind of like helping him do what he do while he was in Detroit.
Listen, homie, PA is his muscle. These are E-course, homie. Let's be real about this. So the PA was his muscle. So when they got on, it went off on them for real. You feel me? Ran down south on the truth.
Right. I got you. So listen, I have a series of questions, brother, and I want to do a timeline thing, because right now the whole world, they're kind of like focusing in on what Meech knew, what he didn't know, at what time did he know something, and
we gonna cut all this short, homie.
Okay.
They've been playing all them games for the longest.
Premium detergent does clean laundry, but the value just does.
All the games about to get cut off right now, so let's get righteous. He's about to keep it funky.
Husbands.
He's about to keep it funky with us, and that's what we need. We need people to just keep it raw and uncut, so we could actually know what's going on. We need people to keep it raw and uncut, GG.
The agent testified that Demetrius Flannery was aware of the deal, and that Demetrius had one request, and that his name does not appear in any documents. This was Special Agent Keith Cromer's testimony. CS1 testified, Tammy Cohens, that Demetrius Flannery was aware. She signed up to be a government informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut. She had the courtroom clear it out. If you go on Pacer, pull my docket sheet, you'll see what CS1 requested that the courtroom be closed.
Got you. Let me ask you a question, Cuffy. at any time during the initial stages of your indictment involving this whole
done. He's done with the games. He don't want to hear this shit no more. He went straight to the boom, bam, boom, 3 sentences. That's just what happened.
Tammy Cohens thing. Did you talk to Big Meech, or did you send a message to Big Meech in any way to tell him or to alert him of what was going on?
We sent Big Meech certified mail. Big Meech set me up, and Tammy set me up with the sting in 2013. That's the last time I've heard. We sent them correspondence through the attorneys, asking him, is he aware that his name is in court sworn documents, and sending me a truckload. He never responded. We know he got the mail because we sent everything certified. I have not heard from this of 32 years since they set me up in 2013.
This beef been spreading like wildfire, but it's looking like everything finna turn on Big Meech. Everything is allegedly, but at this point, if you don't think Big Meech went bad, I don't know how you seeing it. If it bark like a dog, bite like a dog, it's not a cat. I'm interested in what's gonna happen next, because everybody waiting on Big Meech to respond to everything in the headlines. You can't run from this, bruh. The BMF empire is falling down.
Shit got too real, Shit got too real, bro. You did mad, you know what I'm saying? You did 20 years behind the 19 years, Shit starting to get real sketchy right now. It's a little sketchy, and you just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, just come up and just speak, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you ain't gonna be able, shit gets a little hectic. It gets a little hectic. And 50 Cent give your life rights to 50 Cent. Why you trying to beat with 50 after you get on your life rights? That don't make no difference. You could drop it. You could drop all that shit. You could drop all that shit. All that shit can get dropped.
And so badly. This is gonna end so fucking badly. Because it was obvious what was happening to even a civilian like myself. I was like, yo,
I mean, you gotta
party, get the fuck up out of here.
You gotta watch the show. Shout to 50. You know, but when that money coming, sometimes that money come like that. There's no stopping it. The money's coming. Them motherfuckers was rich. They was like the last niggas to do it. So
right, but their flashiness was on a level that I'd never seen before with an illegal operation. Ever.
But when you got 50 million or whatever, 100 million in the basement, you know they coming.
When I first heard about it, I was like, look, in 2003, they would come around like there was guys that had relationships. They were so embedded into the music business because when you can find your pockets, people like you around. Right? When you like at the nightclub and Puffy can't buy champagne because you bought all of it. They start to have to speak to you. There's no fun here tonight without anything. You know what I'm saying? So it starts everybody's relationships that actually develop. I stayed away from it because I know who I am.
Man, we got one of hip hop's most iconic figures who's making his way around social media. Now, we're saying this happened since January 22nd. We're the New York native.
And maybe that could be it too, because he's trying to say, yo, I stood away from it. So that means that Big Meech try to fuck with you at times, before he was out, Big Meech was trying to fuck with you and you stood away from it. You're not about that. You just said you stood away from it, so you stood away from people like that, so you stood away from all that shit, so you stood away from it, So that means, you wasn't really trying to fuck with niggas like that, but after he got locked off, you tried to fuck with him, but hey, you still helped him.
Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, had went to Instagram.
You can't help it. He's fully legit. You know what I'm saying? He's fully legit. That doesn't mean that you can't say what's up to people though.
Right. They said the once drug lord from Detroit, Michigan, Big Meech, is a snitch. Now it's been mixed reviews online, to say the least. Also, the timing is crazy. 50 Cent is set to release the 4th season of BMF. And people that know 50, they say he's trolling. They say this is a plot to get more views and ratings, which he done before with the artist/actor named Rotimi. But some say 50 Cent.
I don't think this is a plot, because this just got crazy. Why would you say who is Tammy Cohens? That's not a plot. That's different. If anything, y'all would have been beefing right there about Rick Ross. Yeah, fuck you, about Rick Ross this, Rick Ross, But y'all put Supreme in it. Supreme ain't happy that shit. Y'all thought that Supreme was gonna like, oh yeah, nah, like niggas gonna shout me out. He only want shout outs probably from the realest. You know what I'm saying? He want shout outs probably from the people that from I don't know. This shit hit different.
They're not trolling. Some say this is a man who disowned his son. So the fact that he would disown a man who once called 50 Cent his second father after alleging that his father is an informant while still having him on his TV series, BMF, it's definitely something 50 Cent would do. But the real question is why? Having allegations date back to 2011, which we'll cover today. Now, my job here today is not to try to convince you is 50 Cent trolling or is he telling the truth? But I will present the facts of the allegations that's being brought up concerning another female who's very close to BMF. And after I present the facts, fam, you let me know at the conclusion. But I will say this out the gate. Calling a man a snitch in public is a damaging allegation, unless it's true. And I don't see how anybody would accept those type of allegations help marketing. But the answer might be just as simple as 2 + 2 = 4.
I mean, all publicity, good publicity, the data. So, you know what I'm saying? They up. They all the way up, the data. Right now, all you see, the data, for all publicity, good publicity. But that publicity, the data, nah, the data, they ain't wearing on that jacket. Because look at the people, these people is actually trying to, like, they actually shouted out Supreme Mcgriff so much that we like, yo, Supreme Mcgriff, who's Supreme Mcgriff? Bam, Supreme Mcgriff is this person. That it came to the point like, yo, these people actually mad thorough, the data. This is the people that 50 was thinking. You saying that 50 Cent, yo, this is crazy. I don't think 50's nervous from you, because he was beefing with some
Today we go over why these allegations was brought up. One video, one show, one 60-second clip has changed one thriving relationship and possibly business.
Nah, 60 seconds, a 60-second clip is too long. You heard pictures describe everything. Look at, he got the Rick Ross thing on and everything. He put the shirt on and everything. Wow.
Endeavors. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fam, we all know we win some and we lose some. With all the wins 50 Cent has managed to obtain during his career, one of the most damaging L's was a rap beef that escalated to court with his rap rival, Rick Ross. It seemed 50 Cent had allegedly obtained an S-tape that had complicit videos of Rick Ross' baby mother. One thing led to another. According to a judge, 50 Cent had leaked that tape. And because of that, he lost the lawsuit, he lost the rap beef, and Rick Ross can say whatever he wants about 50 Cent, but 50 Cent can't say nothing about Rick Ross directly. And that's key to this video, because recently, Big Meech had just announced he's doing a homecoming concert. Various artists is set to perform, and one of those artists was Rick Ross, who we all know is 50 Cent enemy. So saying someone that 50 had a business relationship.
So 50 can't even mention Rick Ross because Rick Ross went to the courts and they playing that game, Oh snap, Oh snap. That's why I'm so, yo, it gets spooky. It gets real spooky, It gets real spooky, Niggas hate to go to court. Niggas don't even go to court when they gotta go to court. They be hating to go to court.
In his eyes with his enemy was enough, allegedly, to publicly call him a snitch. But there's also a man in Rick Ross who have a hit single in BMF, claiming he feel like Big Meech.
Think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover.
Life moves quickly. To keep up, so do we. That's why
that's crazy. Because he been fucking with him, he been fucking with him. So that's different.
Big Meech concert, Rick Ross and Big Meech did a promo video. And this is when the relationship with Big Meech and 50 Cent took a turn for the worse. Check it out.
The biggest boss, Ricky Rose. The time has come. Meech home. February 13th. Get your tickets right now. It's going down. We know Florida gonna be there. Miami gonna be there. The legend himself gonna be in the building, making history. Meech, who else coming?
The whole nation. Detroit, St. Louis, California, everybody. Atlanta, Georgia, ATL, stand up. Woo.
We're gonna make history. Get your tickets right now. Y'all better be there February 13th.
I think I'm Big Meech. Now let's stay on track. Some men would say another man relationship we don't know and just have a business relationship with has no concerns with them. But we're talking about somebody that's very, very petty and brag on being petty. Talked about this on his son, but even in the recent passing of Irv Gotti, may he rest in peace, after, according to local reports, a stroke. 50 Cent claimed he was smoking on a Gotti pack, making a joke reference under a recent photo with more shares than actual likes. So we know we're dealing with somebody that's very, very petty when dealing with his alleged enemy. And it was no different when it came to 50 Cent calling out Big Meech, accusing him of being a snitch. But he also highlighted a woman named Tammy Cohens. But I want us to slow down for a moment for us to truly get what's going on. And when you think of BMF, you might think of Big Meech, you might think of Terry, even a song with Rick Ross. But seldomly you hear about St. Louis or a guy named Cuffy, who had a troubled history with the law. Now, after being incarcerated a couple times, more about his story has been shed to light. Like after Big Meech happened to pay a $1 million ransom for his friend, and allegedly Cuffy had to give Big Meech an M to pay the plug.
Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Whole time, come on, gang. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you gotta talk to Cuffy to know it, right? I talked to Cuffy, I talked to his daughter. Cuffy's daughter fucked up about it. And she go for being rich out there fucked up, like ain't nobody trying to help her neither. Right? So shit be fucked up what really be happening behind the scenes, but everybody praising Meech, right? And I ain't got no problem with Meech. I think he should just holler at Cuffy. Cause it don't be sounding right. And Cuffy got paperwork. So if you got paperwork, you got paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, there's paperwork, but
it's paperwork. Meech a snitch. I'm not saying he a snitch, but Cuffy say he a snitch, gang. And I don't want no problem with BMF because I'm BMF too, right? But I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. On GD, on Larry David.
So you know Cuffy?
Yeah, I know Cuffy. I know Cuffy. Listen, man, Cuffy from St. Louis. Everybody, he gave Meech $1 million. He started. Well, he ain't started BMF, but BMF ain't had no money to get that pack. He gave him that pack. And he always around, right? Even when, you know, that one dude from St. Louis, what's his name? He's got out of jail again. Oh, what's his name? He the underboss, Junior, JR. What's his name? JR. What's his name? No. J-Bo. Yeah, they put J-Bo in the trunk. He told me about that. When they put J-Bo in the trunk. All right, they put J-Bo in the trunk, had him in the trunk, and they made Meech pay to get him back. And Meech paid to get him back and shit, because J-Bo was running around selling dope in the Blue Myers. And he couldn't sell dope down there. They kidnapped him and put him in the trunk and made Meech pay him back. And so Meech ain't had the money. And so that's what he gave Meech the $1 million to go do the shit. Because Meech had to pay to get J-Bo back. So Meech ain't had the money for the plug. And so he had to pay the plug back for Meech. He gave Meech $1 million. So I'm on. They had J-Bo out the trunk though. They should have left him in the trunk. I would have left him in the trunk. So I'm on. That's true story.
J-Bo's from St. Louis too.
J-Bo from St. Louis. J-Bo, he got put in the trunk. He's got in jail too. And I fuck with J-Bo. Shout out to him.
Which led people to believe that because of that, Cuffy is a huge part on where BMF is today.
You know what I'm saying? And I know people heard me speak about Meech's paperwork situation with the last interview that we had, and a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say. They don't believe it, Blues hating. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back and I looked at everything, I was like, you know what, bro? It's only right and only one way to really do it. Only one way to really do it and just let Dog speak for itself. So I wanted him to call in, and this is him calling in during the interview. Go ahead, Cuff, man. You can introduce yourself and take the flow.
Blue, my nigga, what's up, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, a lot of people, man, is thinking that this thing is made up or this thing is fake or that I have an axe to grind. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm in here with a 27-year sentence based on Demetrius Flannery, as you all know as Big Meech, and Tammy Cohens, known in the paperwork as CS1.
Right.
Confidential source 1. So what Big Meech did was call a third-party cooperation. So Tammy Cohens signed up to be a DEA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut, plain and simple.
Right. So
okay.
And like I said, everybody got their own opinion, GG. You got everybody. We just can't. If you picking up Big Meech, pick up Big Meech. It's all right, You gonna pick up Cuffy, But Cuffy wants people to know the truth, and this is just what it is, And these people, Big Meech just being Big Meech, so it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? No one's telling you oh shit, go hate, go do this. No one told you pick sides. No one told you this gets bigger than what it is. It is Cuffy just wants. He's a person too. He is human. And he is a person. And he just and he wants to hurt his side too. His side supposed to get hurt too. And I don't think he's gonna have his daughter going on platforms. I'm saying doing her Million Man March. Going places. That's his daughter. He ain't gonna put his daughter onto that task unless it was righteous. And righteous is what righteous does. GG. Let's stay more legit. Life is overrated. We gotta stay more logic than ever.
Can you break down the story? Like, how do you know this? And how'd you come upon this information?
How do you know? How do you came upon this information though?
We were rewarded what's called a Frank hearing. It's based on a case called U.S. versus Frank. So I would implore your listeners to look the case up. And what a Frank hearing entails is that you're able to cross-examine your accusers, meaning government agents, meaning informants, and so on and so forth, just like a regular trial. So this was testified.
That shit is different, So they ain't playing. They happen to get that. They try to take it to trial. They wasn't playing out, so they was going to go all the way in, and they got the Frenchman or the Frenchie. You know what I'm saying? Understand it. And that's how this shit works. On 1,000.
For those who lost at this point, Cuffy is facing decades in prison after a woman who co-owned BMF while Big Meech was incarcerated, which we're later.
But they saying that he gets out in 18 months.
Discuss played a significant role in his arrest. What Cuffy didn't realize is that the woman had been an informant since 2011. That woman was Tammy Cohens. She developed a close relationship with Big Meech, especially while he was incarcerated. Rumors suggest they were involved in an affair. Allegedly, this connection led to her being able to manipulate law enforcement, including getting an officer fired with trying to assist Meech in securing an early release. The officer was Keith Frommer, who was a group supervisor for the Drug Enforcement Administration office in Atlanta. According to court records, he was messing with Tammy since 2011. And according to him, it was because his son had leukemia and passed away, may he rest in peace, in 2011. And he didn't know how to act. Tammy was paid $212,000 between 2011 and 2015, getting paid $2,500 a month. And some say that relationship helped come up with the idea and framing Cuffy in an attempt to get Big Meech home. However, this relationship also contributed to Cuffy's downfall, as the feds used information from her to build their case against him, despite his attempts.
It's crazy, yo. That shit, man. That shit hurts your heart, Donna. Cause how the fuck is you having a relationship with this shorty, GG? And I'm not saying that you are, like I said, it's all alleged, GG, but you got a relationship with the shorty, that shit hurts your heart. And you gonna implicate who, nigga? The person who's there for you, the person who's been there for you all this time, the person who's still there for you, the person who's been there, the person who's helping you out, like he don't have nothing to do with what you got going on in ATL, he's doing his own thing over there, that shit's just so heartbreaking. Whew.
To communicate his side from jail, he has limited options due to prison regulations. Now, Cuffy got 2 murders in his recent indictment that got him 27 years in jail. But according to the feds, those 2 people who lost their life, who we'll later talk about, were witnesses for his case. Now, Cuffy is basically saying, without saying on the jail phone, that Tammy is the one who said something about the witnesses. But little did he know, she was the biggest informant. Cuffy received tips about witnesses testifying against him, witnesses who would later turn up dead. His indictment includes 2 murders, one of Terrence Morgan, who was killed on May 2nd, 2013, just a day after investigators disclosed that he had been caught on wiretaps, and another of Tildis Howard, who was killed on April 5th, 2010, in retaliation for cooperating with law enforcement. Now, it's a platform that I want to shout out before we continue, named Al Prophet. I believe the owner is a Detroit, Michigan native, and he broke down this case according to the 32-page indictment. I'm gonna leave the link in the bio, but let's continue. And as you heard in the interview at the very beginning, Cuffy didn't know who the real informant was until he was able to cross-examine his CI. And by the time he realized the truth, he was already incarcerated.
So now when Meech came up, it was a new person that came on, and his name was what's his name again, big homie?
Special Agent Keith Cromer.
Special Agent Keith Cromer is the new special agent after Jack Harvey retired. Now he's her handler, and they engulfed in a personal.
Special Agent Keith Cromer, sounding like a fucking Super Saiyan. What the hell?
A relationship, sexual, or however they called it in the court, and through that relationship, it tainted the case, and it was dishonorable at that point. They had to throw that out. That's why Meech didn't get out. So now you pose the question of why is my big homie Cuff still in jail? And go ahead, Cuff. You can let them know why, how that happened.
From that conspiracy, they indicted me on 2 murder charges. Subsequently, I pled guilty to 2 gun charges in exchange for them dropping the murder charges.
Now, how did they? Hold on, let me ask this.
What the fuck? They try to do this man dirty, dada, like never, like, and God bless that he, you know what I'm saying, gets to touchdown again, dada, because everybody has the right to speak about their own, you know what I'm saying, pain, their own wonders, their own questions. Everybody got their own cries, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own questions, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying, lifespan, dada. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they live in it, how they live in it righteously, they stand on business, how they post to, you know what I'm saying? And life's what you make it, like I said, dada. We ain't telling you, you know what I'm saying? You with Meech, we just letting, he just happened to speak his mind, and he's speaking his situation. Everybody got, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their voice to be heard.
How they set you up?
Hold on, let me ask this for you right quick. How did they get you on something that was totally different from the case that Meech and them was had you in a wiretap for?
Out of a totally different, nothing to do with the drug conspiracy, but they falsely accused it as being a part of the drug conspiracy. And then they brought about the gun charges as using the gun charges in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime.
This call. Yo, that's crazy, dada. Like, this dude has some angels in the outfield, dada. This dude trying to say that they fabricated the case on him. So when they fabricated the case on him, they're like, yo, we can't get him for nothing, but get him for this. And they just got him for that. And that, like, because it's about to go wrong because it was falsely handled, dada. You don't lie, dada. Real eyes, dada. Also realize real truth, dada. And when shit, and that's fucked up that the government would do some shit like that, but I don't know.
So now we broke that down. How Big Meech had a plan allegedly with Tammy after she was sleeping with a DEA supervisor. They got caught, the deal didn't go through, but Cuffy still got indicted. And this situation is what 50 Cent referenced to in his recent rants about Big Meech. Now, this situation raises questions about loyalty and portrayal on these circles, especially when it comes to high-profile figures like 50 Cent and Rick Ross. Because shortly after, Rick Ross had something to say. Check it out.
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe, nigga. Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all niggas to understand you gotta stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these niggas don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you niggas at the last 15 years.
And that's how Preem it sounded, dada. Preem is like, yo, why you mishandling my name, dada? We don't even know you. What you doing, dada? Come on, son. Don't do that. Don't fall for that, dada. Stay legit. You know what I'm saying? Stay authentic, dada. Stay original. You know what I'm saying? Keep your value. You know what I'm saying? That you hold. You know what I'm saying? Keep that, dada.
Everything you niggas touch crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this shit personal. We getting to the nigga now. Big Meech, February 13th. That concert gonna be off the motherfucking hook. Putting his foot up you niggas and leaving it in your mother. Biggest boss. I've been separating myself from these broke niggas because they don't understand the rules to the streets. You understand? Don't no nigga owe you nothing, homie. Nigga don't owe you nothing. Y'all get money together. Y'all niggas get money. Keep moving. All that extra shit, nigga. You niggas don't even have a relationship with your own brothers, nigga. Your own mothers and fathers. How the fuck you gonna act like?
And he got a relationship with your son, da. And all that shit gets, you know what I'm saying? It gets, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Situation gets a little iffy, GG.
You real close with me. Stop all that fake capping shit, nigga. That's why you niggas ain't got no money. You need a loan, come see the boss. When it's on, come see the boss. If niggas hating, if I ain't said nothing to you, nigga, I may want to do something to you, nigga. I told you in 06 who the biggest would be. I told y'all, these niggas in their emotions. Oh, nigga took a picture with Rose. Oh, man, these niggas emotional, nigga. Wipe your ass to the front, you heard?
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party.
So I would think that Preem probably fucks with Cuffy, will fuck with Cuffy more than Dada. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. I'm gonna bust this bottle early in the day. One time for all the real ones.
I would think that Preem will fuck with Cuffy more than Dada. And it feels like he been hurt. It looks like he been hurt before the Dada. That's a fact, Dada. And that hurts. That actually hurts. The Dada shit hit the canvas when you got people that you, and he's speaking, it seems like he's speaking from the heart, and he's been fed up. He's fed up with it. The Dada, he's fed up. And that's just what it is, bro. And Supreme ain't having that either. Supreme like, yo, don't put my name involved. Please don't mishandle my name, the Dada. You know what I'm saying? Please don't mishandle my name. And people been mishandling Supreme's name. They got his name around a lot of goofy ass antics. He's not a mediocre person, da. He don't want to be involved in that, da. So it is what it is. It is what it is, bro.
We all before all of that. You feel me?
Right.
Los is a day one nigga. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And see, Meech, I'm the first nigga put $1 million in his pocket. He never seen that till he came to the loop. You feel me?
According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, 34 suspects were indicted by grand juries, more than 24 arrested. In court, prosecutors said those arrested were either members of or connected to an organization called the Black Mafia Family.
In October of 2023, when alleged Black Mafia family members were indicted in St. Louis, it would reveal the depths of the organization's ties within the city. More than a TV show could ever explain, allegations would surface about the crew and the boss to show that the ties might be deeper than anybody would ever know.
You want me to show you how to pull up some paperwork? So you're talking about Tammy Cohens, right?
Yeah, Tammy Cohens.
Okay, now
she's a co-producer of the BMF Stars TV show.
Okay, and you're saying that she's an informant?
Definitely, 100%.
Okay.
She's been an informant since 2009.
It says,
Don't ever mishandle Supreme's name, Gigi. Don't be having Supreme's name around all this mediocre shit that trying to act like Supreme is fucking vouching for other people when he's not, Gigi.
United States of America versus plaintiff, and it says, Donnie Gatlin.
Dion Gatlin. Shout out Cuff. That's my nigga Cuff. Dion Gatlin. Yeah, he's one of the first defendants, yeah.
Okay.
St. Louis Project niggas, what's happening?
During season 3, episode 7 of the Stars blockbuster show BMF, Little Meech, portraying his father, Big Meech, would experience rivalry problems in Atlanta and would decide to travel to St. Louis in order to expand his operation. The show is said to be loosely based on the truth.
And I ain't trying to say that anybody's story is mediocre or anybody's story ain't mediocre, but Supreme Mcgriff's story is way different than this story. And Cuffy has a story too. Cuffy has the story too, and Big Meech has his story too. Everybody, life ain't one way. Life is always You got your own DNA. Everybody got their own story. Everybody got their own words, Everybody got their own shit, But this is just their story, And you ain't gotta intertwine people's stories, unless it intertwines. So intertwine probably Cuffy's story.
But exactly how loose is it? Like many others, I would stumble across an interview several months ago. The script. So I will begin searching for more answers. I'm trying to reach the owners of Chop Talk TV.
Yeah, this is him. This is the owner, Morocco. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Ace? Not sure if you're familiar with me, but I'm popular. I run a web series called Mob Ties, and I stumbled across your channel with an interview, and
they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We need to know what's going on, because at the end of the day, we need to know what Cuffy is saying. We actually need to know what Cuffy is saying, you know what I'm saying?
The internet that's on your channel.
Cuffy. Yeah, Cuffy, he from the projects, man. He a legend in the city, man. He really, he one of them guys, man. Like, one of them dudes where it's almost like he an urban legend. He almost like a ghost, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know him and a lot of people don't know him. And his name just rings through the city, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
That interview right there was actually given to me by one of his closest people, and they told me just to hold on to it. They was just like, man, just hold on to this, man. So you drop it at a certain time.
So you had it more than even the 6 months ago or so that you dropped it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had it way before then. Yeah, I just never put it out. You know what I'm saying? I just put it in the cut and just waiting on them to tell me when to drop it.
If you had to guesstimate a time frame that you had it, because
that's why it comes to the point that people be saying, oh no, Meech had too much money, he knows how to play the system, he try to play the system, and these people is playing the system, but there's people that had money too, which, like, you know what I'm saying? Fat Cat, Supreme, these people have money too, and they didn't go that route, they didn't even, but so it's like, you gotta understand the situations when it's occurring, you know what I'm saying?
It's new now that everybody talking about it. How long ago did you know about this, or was it floating around?
That was shit, man. Probably like almost a year and a half, almost 2 years, bro.
Forward, I was around when things was, kind of started going bad, and Pops got me with another writer who was a guy who used to be the former editor of Rolling Stone. He was trying to get us, to put the whole story together and all that. And at the same time, I ran into a familiar person. I was put with this woman named Tammy Cohens. Tammy was communicating with me regarding, her position, trying to help. They basically said, Cal, help Tammy. And because they knew that at the time, Tammy, she didn't know shit. She was just a pretty girl. Now, let me tell you what I know that was weird. Tammy was communicating with me, communicating. She was telling me everything was going on. And then one day she disappeared. She ghosted me. And I could never figure it out. And I'm going to tell you something. The first time I met her in...
She ghosted you, you know where she went, She ghosted you, where she went, That's crazy. That's crazy, how it's like he's telling you the story. Gigi. This is his story.
Person at the Intercontinental in Buckhead, and she she came across very striking, but it was something I couldn't put my finger on because I was like, how does this type of woman get involved with these ghetto niggas? What the fuck is, I couldn't figure it out because she seemed so out of place. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't question it. I just did what I was asked to do, which was to look out for the family. So I was looking out, trying to connect with her. I was dealing with Tony at the time. They were trying to do their little BMF wives shit. And long story short, I held Pops down, Wayne down the entire time he was out in jail. Took care of some things for him. So when he came home, we had already been writing on the story based on Pop's perspective and involvement. And then he put me with Sosa, and Sosa blew my head off because no one in the organization, no one around could tell me about the old school shit. All I could tell me is about, going forward from California, how everything came to be.
Sosa and myself, we all before all of that. You feel me?
Right.
Sosa is a day one nigga. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And see, Meech, I'm the first nigga put $1 million in his pocket. He never seen that till he came to the loot. You feel me?
I heard about you, dog.
That.
I heard you was just an outstanding dude, man. Take care of your business, and your reputation in a good way preceded itself. So I understand now, based on from what we've dealt with and seen with this whole thing with Tammy, man. Speak on that for me if you can, because it's perplexing.
Well, what Meech and Tammy did is called it because you're not in the system. Thank God you're not. I hate to see brothers in this system, but brothers who are familiar with this system, it's a nasty, nasty system. What Meech and Tammy did was called a third-party cooperation. What happened was...
This call is from a federal prison.
Originally, I was put with Tammy. I paid for the script. I paid $250,000. That's my script. That's why 50 when he came in, because we put a assistant cease order in through my attorney. That's why they couldn't do a motion picture. That's why you didn't see the BMF story on the big screen. So 50 ran it through that star shit, then he ran that other corny shit that he do. So what happened was, homie, I wasn't even the original target. They wanted to get a little Mexican. He's actually a cartel member out of LA named Suarez. You'll see his name in the paperwork, Fidel Suarez. He was their initial target. You feel me?
Right.
He was their initial target. But with me calling in...
So Big Meech don't even own the rights to the BMF thing, and then he owns the rights to and then Cuffy owns the movie rights, so 50 Cent owns the rights to Big Meech's life rights, and Cuffy owns the BMF rights.
While they were trying to set up Fidel Suarez, she clicked over and told the agents who was listening to her and Suarez, hold on, this is Cuff. And when they heard the name Cuff, they went fucking crazy. And that's when her and Meech turned this scheme toward me. You feel me? So what it did was, this is what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to give Meech a time cut for her cooperation and set me up. But also, it kills two birds with one stone. It puts me in jail, and now they don't have to split any of the revenue with me. My buddy and my partner along with me, his name is Louis Burrell. That's MC Hammer's big brother.
That's who Tammy was coming out here to see.
MC Hammer's big brother. Why can't we get like an interview MC Hammer's big brother? We need to interview MC Hammer's big brother, Gigi. That's a fact.
That was me.
And I'm gonna tell you the year. That was 2015. No, that was like 14.
Way earlier than that. It started way earlier than that. Way earlier than that. Around 2010, homie. Way earlier than that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta go way back.
We put $50 million on the table through Lionsgate Films, through Louis Burrell's Connect. Because Louis is the nigga, he a bait nigga out there, but he fucks around. He really fucks around on the music tip, but he also fucks around in the movie industry up there. Now, what we did not know is why Tammy would turn down that deal with me and Louis Burrell getting 20% of that budget. You understand what I'm saying? For a finder's fee. So what ended up happening was we didn't know that they had other plans and that she was sleeping with the feds and that they would put me off in prison and run away with my script and don't have to give me anything. So it was supposed to give me a time cut and knocked me out of my percentage, me and Louis Burrell out of our percentage for the finder's fee with Lionsgate's film. Well, Lionsgate, when Louis went, so they backdoored us. Lionsgate shot it down when Louis Burrell wasn't no longer a part of it. You feel me?
Right.
So Tammy's whole thing fell apart. Meech couldn't get it.
So they did it for no reason, They did it for no reason because the Lionsgate, they needed the other dude. They wanted the other dude, but Cuffy and the other dude, I guess, got knocked off, and now they pushed them out, and they don't want to fuck around no more. They good with it, GG. Like, and it's all this for nothing, I guess.
Time cut because they found out Tammy has no credibility because
And that's why when you mention Supreme's name, you handle it carefully, He don't want to be involved in the shenanigans, Like, what is going on, GG? Like, why y'all even handling his name like that,
when you can't have a relationship with a federal agent, now you have no credibility. So they thing blew up. They thing fell all the way apart.
He's on a whole different level, GG's on a whole different level, GG. You know what I'm saying? That shit's different. And I'm just saying everybody has everybody got their life. Everybody's living their life the way they live in it. That's just the way it's living it. They live it. Big Meech live it how he live it. Cuffy live it how he live it. Supreme lives it how he live it. Everybody 50 lives it how he lives it. Everybody living it accordingly to how they should think they perceive it should be lived. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no rights, ain't no wrongs, ain't no life is everywhere. Life is everywhere. This is just what's happening, and this is everybody, you know what I'm saying, got their story and got their, you know what I'm saying, gonna speak their mind, righteously, truthfully.
Blew up. That's why Meech didn't get a time cut.
But this is allegedly.
But Tammy testified in open court that she signed up to be a DA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut.
This call is from a federal prison.
Finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was. And he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cohens. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out, so on, so on.
Now, do y'all remember that feeling?
Call her? Why the hell would you want to? Why are we calling the daughter? Why would you want to? He just said she's a CI. He's letting you know she's a CI. The daughter. He ain't going. He don't want to call her. He's not calling her the daughter. He's not calling her. Yo, Rob, this is my text message number, so lock me in. It was good rapping with you earlier. Yo, if you go on IG, you'll see that Meech brother T is beefing with 50 Cent because of a picture T took with Supreme's son. But it's deeper than that. The CEO of BMF is a government informant that Big Meech used to set up for a time cut. Tammy Cohens, CSI 1. The data, but it's bigger than that. The data, and look at, they got Supreme, the data, because T took a picture with Supreme's son, the data, yo, Supreme's heated right now, yo, what the fuck? Why you putting me in this shit with these type of people? My name is higher than that, the data. You supposed to hold legacy, the data. Nah, we ain't stamping that, GG. That ain't how life's going, the data. You heard? Don't be putting up Preem's name, all this. It's not because of that, the data. They say it's because they said because 50 Cent didn't pay them enough for their life rights, but they sold it and 50 paid them. You know what I'm saying?
That y'all first got when you found out that wrestling was not real. I'm not saying that that's the case here, but after talking to Cuffy, it definitely made me want to see what y'all thought. We all know about BMF and its ties to the city of St. Louis, with J-Bo being the second in command behind Big Meech. But with an organization that big, you have to know that there was other big dogs, and one of those are said to be Dion Cuffy Gatlin, having shared a more than 20-year friendship dating back to the early days of BMF, and allegedly being the first person to put $1 million in Big Meech's hands. During our conversation, Cuffy would even go on to tell me that they sat at each other's families' dinner tables. Now, the friendship would get complicated in 2014 after Cuffy and his organization would be indicted due to information obtained by Atlanta DEA agents on a wiretap from back in 2012. The information was allegedly obtained in a conversation between a person listed as CS number 1 and Big Meech, with the supposed target of the wiretap being a Mexican cartel member by the name of Miguel Suarez. Now, the bottom line of the situation is that Cuffy would allegedly call into the line of CS1, putting the feds on his trail. After being indicted and receiving his discovery paperwork for the government's case against him, Cuffy would determine that CS number 1 was none other than BMF associate producer Tammy Cohens. And this is where the situation even gets trickier, because that's where sexual scandals, third-party cooperation, and even federal hearings would come into play. And it would start with a DEA agent by the name of Keith Cromer, who would allegedly have an affair with CS1, a person that many people believe to be Tammy Cohens. Now, that situation would escalate to the point to where Keith Cromer, one of the original investigators of the BMF operation in Atlanta, would end up pleading the fifth during a misconduct hearing where he was allegedly said to have provided CS1 or Tammy Cohens with over $200,000 in federal funding, with some of that funding allegedly including extravagant dates and lavish vacations. Now, after that information would come out, CS1 or Tammy Cohens would allegedly be deemed as an unreliable informant due to her relationship with the DEA agent, ending any potential third-party cooperation deals that Big Meech was allegedly a part of. It would also be in light of that information where Cuffy's situation will become more complicated. Now, due to statements made by his co-defendant, he would end up pleading guilty in 2019 to various conspiracy and gun charges. He would appeal his guilty plea to the Supreme Court, forcing them to provide an alleged firearm that was supposedly tied to 2 murders in his case due to the statements by his co-defendant. During the interview referenced earlier on Chop Talk TV, Cuffy would reference the United States versus Anderson case as being similar to his, but when I would speak to him personally, he would reference another case, the United States versus Laura.
All this just because they trying to say that 50 didn't want to pay him, the data. All this because 50 brought the life rights, the data, and now they saying that they want it back, the data, and they thought that they was going to get it back, but Supreme ain't even. They thought that 50 Cent supposed to be scared of Supreme because 50 Cent. They trying to say that 50 Cent used to be scared of Supreme or whatever the case may be, or maybe Supreme just had it. You know what I'm saying? He was just a big dude, the data. So Supreme being a big dude, the data. Why you think that? And you see Supreme's legacy, the data. Supreme's legacy is a little violent, the data. You know what I'm saying? So why the hell do you think that he's not going to stand on business with you, Dandada? That's what I just want to know. Why do you think he wasn't going to stand on business with you, Gigi? That's different right there. It's just different. crazy. And I don't think his daughter's gonna be lying. I don't think he's gonna try to rob him. I don't think he's gonna try to rob him. He could have had a whole series with him. This is the beginning of that story.
Confidential assistance to the government. So in a nutshell, it's cooperating through someone else. So it may not seem like you're the one that said it or put them up to it, but it's you through someone else, basically. Right? So they're accusing a person who was involved with Big Meech, who was his POA, also known as his power of attorney, Tammy Cohen, Tammy Cohen, of being used to gather information on behalf of Big Meech for a reduced sentence in his federal drug case. Now, the person who was
Damn, man, Cuffy's about to come home, but Cuffy ain't playing. Cuffy's keeping his thing together. Cuffy's making his statement. He's gonna have his story come out, the daughter, and then crazy part is writing story that he started writing. That's crazy. This shit deeper than what we see or than what we know. This is crazy. This is crazy.
And I got the paperwork right here, and we about to go ahead and bust this paperwork down and see for ourselves whether or not Big Meech snitched to get out of jail early. But before we do all that, make sure y'all like this video. I'm trying to get this video to 1,000 likes. It's gonna be the first time we get a video to 1,000 likes. So please, if you don't do anything in life, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
The streets are back. Nigga, Meech on. Meech, welcome back. Salute, my nigga.
While Rick Ross and other celebrities celebrate and rejoice that Big Meech is home.
Yeah, you Big Meech, I'm so happy you home. I don't know what to do. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of stuff been going on that you don't know about, so I'm finna tell you. These niggas been in the club. They been dancing 20 girls off of 3,500.
There's a man that goes by the street name of Cuffy out of St. Louis who claims that Big Meech set him up, and he's currently right now serving a 20-plus year sentence in the feds. And he says Big Meech set him up along with a woman who coerced him to do certain things, while all the while coming to find out she was a confidential informant working with the feds and also working with Big Meech to not only free Big Meech, but to get the rights back from Cuffy that he owned from the BMF story and the life rights of Big Meech to tell his story.
You know, a lot of people, man, is thinking that this.
So 20 years, this 20 years shit, the data, it's just, it was for the life rights and data. So he did he did it to get the life rights back, and data. Damn. So this is just business. This wasn't even for, you know what I'm saying? It's just for the life.
To give Demetrius Flannery a time cut, plain and simple.
This is the Ultra Class Takeover.
This video is brought to you by Ultra Class Family. We are the #1 XL American bully.
Saying you were charged with A48, correct? The leader of A48. Now, the leader of A48, I mean, that's a mandatory life sentence. There's no way out of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way out of it. So, 20 years and 30 years.
I don't know what he's saying though, but he caught 30 years, bro. And they're saying that he got a 10-year time cut. That's what I believe. That's what they're saying.
Pleas and all that, like we don't understand it. And let's just say, because there's strange things going on, right? Let's just say, you took 30. What you took 30? In the federals, you do 85% of your time. You know what I'm saying? Like. So let's just do 85% of 30. 25 and a half years. So let's just say, like, you know what? You somehow wiggled up out of the mandatory life sentence, what you were charged for. And you somehow took 30. Even if you took 30, you do 25 and a half years. Now, you got picked up in 2005. at the earliest, it should be June 2030. And that's only 2024. So we need answers in the streets, bro. And I said, I can't call you a snitch until I get evidence. That's just how I roll. Even though I've been in situations where I know someone's a rat, and I don't have the evidence based on circumstances. Now, I don't know you like that, but as the streets as a whole, we need answers. Okay.
I'm Tamara Gatling. I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels, and there's still so many questions.
Sacrifices, sacrifices, when he had to sacrifice for that series, and you know how they be like, yo, all these, you know how they be like, yo, this nigga left someone in jail, or this person has someone to go to jail, or this person got sacrificed, or this person got sacrificed, or these people got sacrificed. He's the sacrifice, maybe. That's what they be saying.
That aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts. And hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie. So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cohens. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights.
What did you get from Meech?
When I got locked up, homie, and when I seen where this whole conspiracy was coming from, I laughed at it and I didn't believe in it. And I knew that Meech could come forward and kill the whole conspiracy. Just saying that the conspiracy is based on Meech communicating from Tammy, sending me a truckload of drugs. It's all made up. From jail, homie. He could have killed this whole deal. They never had any drugs. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how conspiracy works in this system, in this nasty system. But when Meech shot down the offer, when we sent my attorneys out, he was at FCI Lompoc in California. And
he had time to do right. He had time to do his wrongs right. He had time to still get right. Still get him right. But his play was already in motion. GG. His play was already gone on. His ship already sealed.
He didn't want to have nothing to do with nothing, and he stopped communicating with them. So then that told my attorneys right there that Demetrius Flannery is a part of this whole deal. And I couldn't believe it. You feel me? So that's what his response was, that he don't know nothing about all this. Well, Demetrius Flannery has been locked up since 2005, and how are you my unindicted, he's listed in my paperwork, homie, as my unindicted co-conspirator serving 30 years at FCI Lompoc in California. How are you in my paperwork, man?
Leak was likely to have snitched through a third party. And some people were saying maybe Meech didn't know what was going on. Maybe the third party was acting.
And that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, nah, the money gets you out. He had money, he had good lawyers. Dumb niggas will understand the facts. But there's people that y'all brought into this, that y'all thought he was gonna have your back, just because y'all claimed that he was beefing with 50 Cent, just because y'all claimed that he was bullying 50 Cent, just because y'all claimed that irks him so much, that y'all thought that he was gonna have your back. But that man that y'all put into this Supreme Mcgriff, he stands by his own principles, and he stands by his own morals, and he's his own man. So him being his own man, GG, just means that he stands on his own side, and he ain't had none. He don't want no parts of this, and he ain't with all the mediocre fairy tale funny shit that's going on. He's not with it. You know what I'm saying?
Alone by herself. Here's some paperwork that's saying that might not be the case. Even though she tried to clean it up, they're saying that they don't believe that. This is where we're going to start. This is the top of 13.
Yeah.
All right. Remember Suarez, too, just to give some context. Suarez is the guy that Meech met in jail, the one that is a cartel member that got caught with 90-something bricks at a truck stop. He says that when they got out of jail, he just wanted to help Meech, just being good. He wanted to pay for Meech's lawyer to help him get out early and everything. And this is the guy that he allegedly betrayed. I'll start reading. It was due to the CSI's relationship with Flannery that CSI first came into contact with both Fidel Suarez and Dion Gatlin.
Yeah, they don't understand that. They don't understand that. They understand that they heard through the paperwork. They understand that they read through the paperwork. The situation gets a little bit hectic. I'm saying situation gets a little hectic. It gets a little spicy. Supreme ain't playing that shit. Shit got real, It got real. Shit got real, bro. Shit got real. They made the Supreme ain't playing none of that shit,
News lately, definitely because of the Earth Gotti situation. And his son called a little backlash yesterday. Preem Jr., his father reached out with a phone call towards the internet and publicly gave him an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? And Preem basically responded to it, saying how he apologized for his behavior. He should have stayed out of, certain situations that didn't concern him, as well as he agrees with his father by doing it publicly. So y'all get in the comments, y'all let me know what y'all think. Gang.
But ultimately, I had to sit with myself. And I seen the message that my dad sent to me yesterday, and it hit me a certain type of way, like emotionally. I didn't really know if I was going to say anything back. I didn't know how to approach it. I spoke to so many different people. I got so much different feedback, but ultimately, I had to sit with myself and really understand and grasp.
Bro, I hope you don't fuck this up, GG. Dandada, because your ass is over here, Dandada. He just said stop the internet shit. You didn't even have to go to the internet, Dandada, but I guess you have to go clean everything up, Dandada. So I guess this is, man, you gotta watch it sometimes. You should have just called them.
As the frustration of a hard-headed son, over the last 6 to 7 years, he's been begging me and pleading with me, yo, chill out, stop, yo, get off the internet, yo, help me do this, do that. And I went against that, and subconsciously I was doing it because I wanted to reach him in another way. Like I just felt like I wanted attention, and the attention that I wanted, I got the attention, but at what cost? Like, I want to mend the relationship with my dad, and I'm not mad at what he said. Everything he said was accurate. Me engaging in stuff that doesn't concern me, or me trying to, I was a son trying to stick up for his dad and his dad's friends, but I didn't need to do that, because sometimes not saying anything is saying everything, and silence is golden, and all those things like that. So I needed that message yesterday to kind of close that chapter and move on to the next phase of my life, and take accountability and move on and understand and enjoy the rest of the time that we have here on earth, because we don't know how long we're gonna be on earth. And the biggest thing is accountability for my actions. And he wasn't wrong for nothing he said. Like, he was dead on, and I respect everything he was saying, and I understand. And I hope that is the first steps for us repairing our relationship. I want to apologize to Irv's family. Like, I was way out of line for speaking for y'all. I should have never even said anything. I apologize.
That shit hit different, GG. Like, what the? He tried to stand up, though. He was trying to stand up to Dada, but damn, Dada. Do y'all think he did something wrong to Dada? But damn, GG, he definitely did with the Southwest tea and the Rick Ross shit, Dada. I don't think his father enjoys any of that company, Dada. You know what I'm saying? So more or less, Dada, he ain't happy, GG. He ain't happy. That message put him more than a public. He guys.
Apologize for that. I want to apologize to my mother, because I know with all the stuff going on in the news and the media and on the blogs, I know she's getting that at work, and et cetera, et cetera. And the list is I'm going to apologize to my family. I want to apologize to Prince, my cousin, because when he came home, he was telling me, yo, chill out, we're going to be good. So I want to apologize to Prince, my uncles, and Pops. I heard your message, man, and thanks for giving me a public ass whooping. Sometimes you need to get your ass beat in public to understand what you're doing. So yeah,
Apologize to his cousin. His cousin's about to get out, Dada. His cousin's about to get out. Oh shit. He just said his cousin's about to get out. She's about to get. All right, she's about to get. So you about to be with some real ones? Then I don't think them niggas is a whole different level, GG. You heard? A whole different level, GG. That's a whole different level. He ain't doing none of that shit. What's the message though? We gotta hear that message. We gotta hear the message that set him straight, Dada. We gotta hear that message that set him straight, Dada. He ain't playing none of that. Cause he was thugging. He was thugging for a minute. Damn, and he said he's gonna what? He's threatening you.
This one you mad at stars, you mad at bro, bro, nobody don't owe you no loyalty. Yo, y'all did business. The money was made. We moving on. We're moving on from you, bro. You're not the big homie. What are you talking about, man? Meech, salute, man. Do your thing, throw your parties, get right, get money, man. Yo, now he's a rat. Now he's a rat.
This Pop said what? This Pop said what? What? What you say?
You knew all this shit before all this shit happened. You still want to stop it, man. Yo, listen, man. This dude is being exposed, and a lot is going down, man. It's a lot about to unfold in the next 2-3 months, man. I know everything, bro. I got all the inside scoops. I know everything that's going on behind the scenes. Niggas already been put me on to with the man. Listen, man. Either get down or lay down, man. Get with the winning team, baby.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't really feeling what he doing to Lil Meech, bro. I don't like that shit, man. That's an innocent kid, man. You seen how Lil Meech was acting when he got caught in the airport. Yo, that's not my gun. Yo, please. Like, he's an innocent kid, man. Like, you're not supposed to expose him and do that to him. You violated Lil Meech, and that's crazy. But
elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend, Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son, Kyle Robinson. I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Roberson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller. I was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family. I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son. He is my son.
Bro, this nigga said no one gets a pass, Gigi. No one. So don't think that Big Meech gets a pass. Don't think that Rick Ross gets a pass. Don't think that these people is getting passes because he just said it. No one, not even his son, Gigi. No one gets a pass on that. So we gotta take this shit carefully, because no one gets the pass.
And I love him, but I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet. I let him know men don't argue in beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence. He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats talking about.
And that already happened. And he already forsake. He already impeached. He already, you know what I'm saying? He already went to the altar. He already, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's already, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to get righteous, GG. You heard?
We. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence. We different. We are masters of self-defense. If you ain't talking about positivity or growth and goals, keep your mouth shut. That goes for everybody. Rest in peace, little bro. And mourn in peace, the entire Lorenzo family. If a person refuses to learn, leave that person alone. I gotta go.
Salute, world.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yo. Shit gets real right. Shit gets real crazy, Dada. And now Big Meat, I get that Big Meat probably he just don't give a fuck. You don't let this shit go out the ground, Dada. It go down to the ground. Yo, this is crazy. This is different. Why are they acting like that? Playing. Griff wasn't playing. You think it's over here? And all this has been Irv died, Irv been dying, but hopefully everything gets right. I know they don't even mention Ja Rule, did you? Where's Supreme, the data? Where is Supreme?
Kenneth Mcgriff, better known as Supreme or Preem, was one of the most influential kingpins in the history of New York City. Throughout his career as a drug lord, he would become well known for founding and leading the notorious Supreme Team, a 200-strong organization of vicious criminals who operated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and sold over 25,000 vials of illegal substances per week, making over $500,000 per day during their peak. After one of his stash houses was raided in the mid-'80s, Preem would find himself in prison for the first time. However, this wouldn't stop him from directing his organization, which he continued to do behind bars with the help of his second in command, the notoriously brutal Gerald Prince Miller. When Mcgriff was released,
he said he's on his way out, GG. He's about to, you know what I'm saying? So GG's the data side, he just scuba down some work for scuba Steve, the data, stay more righteous than ever, you know what I'm saying? Life's what you make it. Remember the data life, you know what I'm saying? It's overrated. We gotta stay more firm than ever, the data, because these people, the data, they living and they beefing, and then shit goes all over the place, and then people gotta think that they gotta pick sides. You ain't gotta pick no sides, GG. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta stay more righteous than ever. Real shit, because look at, you could just see that it's overrated.
In 1987, the Supreme Team entered its golden years, capitalizing on the split epidemic of the 80s and becoming one of the most powerful dope crews in New York City history. But once again, Supreme wound up in prison on a kingpin charge, which marked the beginning of the end of the Supreme Team, as Prince's vicious leadership methods drew too much attention from law enforcement, resulting in the arrest and conviction of over 100 Supreme Team members. Once released from his second prison stint, Mcgriff tried to walk away from the street life and turn to the entertainment business. After writing the script for Crime Partners, a movie that featured major rappers such as Ice-T and Snoop Dogg, Preem began making his name in the entertainment business, with Murder Inc. founder Irv Gotti even offering him a position as vice president of the record label. Unfortunately, Preem had a major fallout with Eric Smith, aka E Moneybags, which led him to put out a hit on Smith's head, in which he ordered his hitman to record the hit for his later enjoyment. This would turn out to be the biggest mistake of his life. Years later, authorities will find the video of the hit and convict him of a life sentence, which he is currently serving at USP McCrary in Pine Knot, Kentucky. Infamously known for ordering the hit on 50 Cent, Mcgriff's career as a kingpin was riddled with addiction to the street life, which ultimately cost him his freedom. This is his story.
Crazy. They say that he's known for ordering the hit on 50 or whatever the case may be, but that's not what he's locked up for. He's not even locked up for that, GG. Like, that's different. So why did they say that?
Kenneth Mcgriff was born in the South Jamaica neighborhood in Queens, New York.
Like, why y'all throwing his name in that, Like, that's not what he's locked up for. So why y'all throwing his name in that shit, That shit begins
September 19th, 1960.
You get critical.
Although most criminals come from broken homes, Mcgriff came from a very different home environment. He was the middle child in a decent, middle-class, blue-collar family. Both of his parents were transit workers for the city, and in the time that Mcgriff was growing up, South Jamaica was still known as a family-friendly neighborhood. Originally considered a slum in the early 20th century, South Jamaica, or Southside Jamaica, as many residents would refer to it in the 50s, the neighborhood underwent a series of urban transformations under the presidency of Franklin D. Roosevelt in the early 1940s. The idea was to turn South Jamaica from a slum into a middle-class neighborhood, but the project ultimately failed, and the neighborhood remained one of the poorest areas of Queens due to the increased felony rate that afflicted the neighborhood in the late 70s and 80s.
But I know Preem don't understand what's going on, but Preem, you gotta tilt your hat, because Big Meech, he brought a acknowledgement into who you are, the dada, and then you went rival. You went super rival going off on your son, the dada, and now people they want to know your story, and people want to know who's killing Supreme, the dada. They want to know what's going on with you, the dada, and get your right. Cause I know that shit would be crazy. 50, you better get that.
As a result of the dope trade, the area would come to be nicknamed by residents as South Suicide Jamaica. But this wouldn't be until later in Mcgriff's life. Considering his relatively ordinary background growing up in the Baisley Park housing projects, it can be difficult to understand how exactly Kenneth Mcgriff ended up becoming one of the most notorious drug lords in the streets of New York City. Mcgriff's involvement in the streets began during his formative years at Catherine and Count Basie Junior High School, where he was described by his peers and school faculty as handsome, extremely athletic, and intelligent. He was a talented football player and even had dreams of going to college on a football scholarship, but ultimately, his negative influences and poor choices led him down the dark path of street life. Mcgriff's high school years were marked by his introduction to a black nationalist Islamic sect called the 5 Percenters, a group that was founded on the belief that 5% of the African American population was destined to rule the rest of the world. Although Mcgriff wouldn't become formally involved with the 5 Percenters until after leaving Catherine and Court Basie Junior High School, being exposed to their ideas at a young age had a deep effect on him and would ultimately shape some of his most important life choices later on. With college on the horizon and the possibility of living an ordinary, legitimate lifestyle becoming increasingly likely by the day, Mcgriff realized that he had an important choice to make. If he were to continue with school, it was very likely that he would end up working a similar job as his parents, working every day for the rest of his life to make ends meet. He had more than one reason to be mistrustful of the system, as racialism and the systematic oppression of the black community were both very real problems in American society, especially in New York. Even if he decided to go to college, it would have been very difficult for Mcgriff to become anything but a blue-collar worker. On the other hand, Mcgriff realized that some of the most successful men he had been in contact with were street hustlers. After all, in Mcgriff's environment, the men who were driving the nicest cars, dating the most beautiful women, and throwing the best parties were usually involved.
Look at GG, you know what I'm saying? This is his little output. Like, everybody could tell their story, bro. Everybody could tell their story, GG.
In organized crime in one way or another. Terrified of the idea of dedicating his entire life to low-paying manual work, Mcgriff dropped out of high school in the 1970s and turned instead to a life of crime. Of course, even as a hustler, Mcgriff had to start somewhere and worked his way from the bottom up. Although he had his sights set on becoming the king of the streets, his beginnings in the criminal world were as ordinary as can be. With no other connections in the crime world yet, Mcgriff decided to become a member of the 5 Percenters. It's important to note that although the teachings and belief of the 5 Percenters fundamentally revolved around doing good in the world and helping to enlighten others through their evangelization efforts, there were several subgroups inside the movement that would use the teachings of the group as a cover-up to facilitate their criminal activities. In the 70s and 80s, the criminally oriented 5 Percenters will become one of the most problematic criminal groups for the NYPD, as they exerted a lot of power in the streets and practically every jail throughout the city. They would frequently have run-ins with the FBI, and they influenced virtually every aspect of street and gang life in every borough of New York City. It was during his time in the 5 Percenters that Mcgriff got his nickname. In the movement, he was referred to as the Supreme. It was also around that time that Supreme was introduced by a fellow 5 Percenter to local kingpin Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, who would go on to have a major influence on Supreme's life. In those times, heroin was the most commonly sold dope on the streets, and the 5 Percenters constantly fought against rival gang, the 7 Crowns, for power, money, influence, and territory in the dope slinging game. However, this all changed a few years later. In the early 1980s, coke was quickly becoming the dope of choice in low-income communities all over New York City. As the use of the illegal substance became more and more widespread, Local dealers saw this as an opportunity to enter a whole new market because the coke epidemic hadn't yet made headlines in the media. Dealers could make enormous profits selling massive quantities of the dope without the police noticing. Being the natural businessman that he was, Supreme saw this opportunity and immediately took action. Branching off from the 5 percenters, Supreme formed his own team, aptly named the Supreme Team. Mcgriff's team would go on to become one of the most notorious crews in New York City history. From its founding, the Supreme Team was structured like a legitimate business organization, with Supreme at the top of the pyramid. Although he was a highly competent businessman, running a criminal crew of more than 200 people was a task that no man could handle alone, which is why Supreme recruited his nephew, Gerald Prince Miller, and made him his second in command. The two complemented each other very well. While Supreme was widely known as the brilliant business mind that made the gears of the organization turn, Prince was known to be a vicious, merciless ruffian. Although he commonly resorted to extreme methods of brutality to assert his dominance in the street, he was always completely loyal to Supreme and the organization. As for Mcgriff, it was well known in the streets of New York that he only resorted to brutality when it was absolutely necessary and there was no other way out of the situation. Otherwise, he preferred to keep the heat off of himself and his crew and avoid drawing unnecessary attention from law enforcement. At the peak of the organization's history, there was more than 200 members operating under Prince and Supreme. Among the members of the Supreme Team were big street names such as
And Preem wasn't even like what you told about. They trying to say that Preem, he didn't want to. He ain't with. He only, you know what I'm saying? He's staying righteous, brother. He's only killing necessary. They're saying, but I guess.
Alfredo Arroyo, aka C-Just, Harry Big C Hunt, and the notorious Waverly Teddy Coleman. These members and many more reported up the ladder to Prince and Supreme, who did everything he could to make the Supreme Team run as smoothly as possible and out of sight of law enforcement. As the operations of the team were based out of the Baisley Park houses in South Jamaica, Mcgriff arranged an elaborate security system around the projects, assigning lookouts equipped with walkie-talkies to keep watch from the top of nearby buildings if law enforcement officers ever entered the area. The Supreme Team security team would alert the traitors, who would then hide or destroy all incriminating evidence. In the early 1980s, the Supreme Team was moving insane amounts of narcotics. As he continued to scale his team's operations, Supreme leveraged the old network connections he had made in high school and established a mutually beneficial business partnership with Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. At the time, Fat Cat was one of the biggest black dealers in NYC, and he quickly became the Supreme Team's main coke supplier. Because the coke epidemic was not in the media spotlight and the Supreme Team wasn't in the sight of the NYPD just yet, the crew enjoyed an uninterrupted streak of freedom in which they operated with little to no police intervention. This allowed Supreme, or Preem, as many would call him, to smoothly scale his operation. But if the Supreme Team knew how to work hard, they also knew how to play harder. At their peak, the team operated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, selling more than 25,000 vials of coke per week, and reached a revenue of about $500,000 every single day. Like most criminals, the crew couldn't help but shamelessly boast their dirty money. Every member of the Supreme Team had flashy cars and beautiful women surrounding them. And they would often throw large parties where they would hire rappers in groups as big as Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. Ultimately, this is what made the NYPD take notice of the Supreme Team. And by 1985, the FBI had started tapping their phones and surveying their operations from a distance. This was the year in which an article in the New York City Times describing coke use in the Bronx, titled "A New Purified Form of Coke Causes Alarm as Abusers Increase," gained massive traction, which put the spotlight on people like Preem. Over the next year, more than 1,000 articles will be published by different media outlets describing the now infamous dope epidemic. One day in 1985, members of a rival gang robbed one of Supreme's stash houses and took about $80,000 cash, as well as a large quantity of dope. Enraged, Preem put out a frightening notice, letting everyone know that if he didn't get his dope and money back, he would take action. When the police got knowledge of this in September of that same year, they organized a series of raids on a lot of Supreme Team stash houses. In one of the raids, which took place on September 10th, they found Preem and other members of his crew flushing large quantities of coke down the toilet, as well as large quantities of dope and paraphernalia lying around the stash houses. Preem was guilty of narcotic possession and sentenced to 9 years at Elmira State Prison in New York. At the time, he was only 25 years old, and he expected to get right back in the game as soon as he got out of prison. In the interest of keeping his organization growing,
you see, Supreme used to doing time, Gigi.
He placed the Supreme Team under the leadership of Prince. Through his leadership, dozens of people were tortured, beaten, and assassinated. This could have gone on for a much longer time, but Preem ended up getting released from prison in August of 1987, just 2 years into his sentence. It has been alleged that as soon as he got out of prison, every member of his crew gave him a welcome home gift in the form of bags filled with thousands of dollars. After being brought up to speed on the organization's operations and communicating his vision for the future of the Supreme Team to the crew, Preem got back to work. Over the next few months, the crew organized sporting and music events for their community and set up youth sports programs all over Queens, showing a much more generous side of the organization. The team also organized food drives and charitable events for the less privileged members of the Queens community.
And you gotta understand, Dondada, Preem at his time, Dondada, he had Ja Rule, Dondada, and Ja Rule was the most. He was over there doing he was at the top, Dondada. Ja Rule was at the top of his peak, Dondada. So imagine that.
However, the illegal operations didn't stop during this time, and just 3 months after being released from prison, Preem was once again arrested when the NYPD raided another one of his stash houses. The judge that handled the case was a black man from Queens named Sterling Johnson, who had seen the physical damages the Supreme Team had been involved in and how they had destroyed the neighborhood he lived in. As a result, he sentenced Supreme to 12 years in prison on charges of operating a continually criminal enterprise. Once again, Preem left Prince in charge of the organization, which once again turned the Supreme Team into an extremely dangerous organization. In 1987, Prince ordered 8 homicides, sometimes even assassinating members of his own team who he deemed unloyal. The first of these offenses that he was formally framed of was the execution of a 19-year-old dealer who was shot once in the head at point-blank range on August 21st, 1987 in the South Jamaica neighborhood. However, the jury eventually found Prince not guilty due to insufficient proof, and he was acquitted. On July 13th, 1990, while he was in jail for the first homicide, another set of assassination charges came back to haunt Prince. This time, it was a quadruple homicide of 4 Colombian suppliers. The Queens District Attorney's Office said Prince ordered the hit from prison and that he was operating his empire by using code words on the phone to direct members of his organization. Of this set of homicides, District Attorney John Stantucci said they were handcuffed, gagged, strangled, and then they bashed their skulls. Once again, Prince ended up getting acquitted. For several months, police were unable to make any of these charges stick, which resulted in many different newspapers giving Prince the nickname Mr. Untouchable. Although he was able to get away with a whole series of criminal activities for several years, that same year, Prince was sent to prison on a state homicide charge thanks to the testimony of several eyewitnesses. With both of the leaders in jail, the organization was temporarily disbanded on Supreme's orders. They were inactive from 1987 to 1989. And during this time, something happened that changed the New York City dope world forever. On February 26, 1988, 22-year-old rookie police officer Edward Byrne was conducting a stakeout in South Jamaica after a Guyanese immigrant had repeatedly called the police to tip them off about possible gang activity going on in the area. Suddenly, a car with 4 male passengers pulled up behind him. 2 of the men got out, and one of them shot Byrne in the face 5 times with a .38 caliber pistol. He passed in the hospital shortly after. The homicide sparked nationwide outrage, and President Ronald Reagan himself called Mr. Byrne's family to offer his condolences. It's not an overstatement to say that the passing of Edward Byrne officially triggered the conflict on dope in New York City. Shortly after his passing, the NYPD launched a Tactical Narcotics Team, or TNT, which consisted of 117 members dedicated to bringing down local dealers and prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law. A little over a year later, in the spring of 1989, Prince was released from jail after an eyewitness changed their testimony about what happened on the night of one of the homicides Prince was framed of. Although he was suspected of intimidating the eyewitness into changing their story, this was never formally shown, and he was allowed to walk. Prince's release marked the rebirth of the Supreme Team. Once out of jail, he appointed Wilfredo Arroyo as a second in command and went back to his brutal methods. Under Prince, things were not the same as before for the Supreme Team. Whereas before, they had been raking in over $500,000 a day, they were only making.
When you get off, I'm not saying everybody, but when you get off and you doing, I guess you get off from the thing, from a body, the data, and they use whatever methods they use, the data, and then when you out there, you just want people to feel how you feel, or you just want people to start acting how you acting. So that's how more crazy. And then once that chain of reaction starts happening, then you're gonna see how it works out.
Making around $10,000 a day after 1989. The NYPD crackdown simply made it impossible to keep scaling as smoothly as they had under Mcgriff. Things went from bad to worse, and in 1990, Prince and 15 other members of the Supreme Team were apprehended by the police after the NYPD tapped many of the members' phone and monitored over 100 of their conversations, in which they spoke in detail about the team's operations and brutal offenses. Unbeknownst to Prince, the wiretap had taken place between December 1989 and March 1990, and would end up becoming the deciding factor in his demise. He was indicted on 4 homicide charges and several other burglaries and kidnapping charges. Although the wiretaps were illegally placed by the police and the assassinated charges were subsequently dropped, Prince was still sentenced to 7 life sentences in prison in 1993. Other members of the team who ended up in prison as a result of the wiretap included Ronald Tucker, aka Tuck, and Wilfredo Arroyo, aka C-Just, who were sentenced to 14 years and 3 life sentences respectively. This marked the official downfall of the Supreme Team in 1995. Preem himself was released on parole after serving 8 years in prison on the Kingpin charge. By that point, however, over 100 members of the original team had been arrested, and it became clear to Mcgriff that he could no longer continue with business as usual. In addition to this, Mcgriff has spent many of his waking hours in prison reading and educating himself, and decided to reform his life when he got out of prison. This is when he turned his attention to the entertainment industry. Shortly after his release, he linked up with Irving Lorenzo Jr., a producer also known as DJ Irv. Together, they started the label Murder Inc., which would go on to become a legitimate force in the world of hip-hop in New York City. Eventually, DJ Irv rebranded himself as Irv Gotti and offered Mcgriff the role of vice president at Murder Inc. This was a major turning point in Supreme's life, as accepting the offer could have solidified him as a legitimate business mogul. Shockingly, he rejected the offer out of pride. When Irv Gotti asked him why he didn't want to accept, Supreme simply replied, "Because I wouldn't be Preem." Nonetheless, Preem continued to be involved with Murder Inc., and he eventually became interested in making movies. In 2001, he released a movie adaptation of Dolan Goen's novel, Crime Partners, which featured Snoop Dogg, Ice-T, and other famous rappers. Even though it was alleged that Crime Partners had been financed with dope money.
That's crazy because they actually some big time actors, bro. These people is actually some big time actors, bro. So that's different, bro. This dude would have been making movies, bro.
the movie made about $4 million, and Preem began to build a reputation in the entertainment industry. Sadly, he couldn't stay away from the streets, and several sources claim that he was moving large quantities of dope in secret in New York City. Preem would once again draw unwanted attention from law enforcement after a series of altercations involving another hustler who wanted to leave the streets behind and join the entertainment industry, Eric Smith, better known as E Moneybags. As the story goes, Moneybags wanted to purchase a car from Supreme and gave his crew the money for it. Shortly after, he changed his mind before receiving the car, but Supreme refused to give him a refund. Feeling cheated and betrayed, E sought out Supreme and found him sitting in the car along with his friend Cobra Black Just Johnson. Moneybags opened fire and accidentally shot Black Just instead of Preem, which led Preem to put a price on his head. In order to protect himself from Preem's wrath, E Moneybags banded with other rappers who shared a similar hatred for Kenneth Mcgriff. Among these rappers was Curtis Jackson III, better known as 50 Cent. The bad blood between 50 and Preem started in 2000 when 50 Cent was stabbed outside of the Hit Factory Studios in New York after an altercation with Murder Inc.'s rapper, Ja Rule. However, the feud didn't end there. In 2000, 50 Cent released the song Ghetto Quran in a mixtape in which he aired out a lot of hustlers' business for everyone to listen to. Of course, this rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including Supreme himself. After the song's release, 50 Cent was labeled by many as a snitch, and Supreme was determined to eliminate him. On May 24, 2000, 50 Cent was sitting in his car outside of his grandmother's house in Queens when a car pulled up beside him and a man shot him 9 times in his hand, chest, calf, hip, and face. Miraculously, he survived, but by then it was well known that Supreme had been behind the assassination attempt. 50 identified the trigger man as Daryl Hamo Bomb, who was known for being Mike Tyson's bodyguard. Shortly after the incident, Hamo was assassinated in a gang-related incident. Because the authorities weren't able to gather enough proof to charge him, Supreme continued on a rampage to take out his enemies, the next of which was E Moneybags. In 2001, Preem ordered the hit on E Moneybags and also commanded his hitmen to record the entire incident for his later enjoyment. On July 16th, Moneybags was parked in an SUV in front of a house in New York when 4 hitmen suddenly approached the car wearing white gloves and fired more than 40 times into the vehicle. 50 Cent may have survived 9 shots, but surviving 40 shots is practically impossible, and Eric Smith passed on the spot. Ordering the hit to be recorded would turn out to be the biggest mistake of Preem's life, as police would end up finding it years later. In 2007, Preem was living in Baltimore, Maryland, where he had moved large quantities of dope. While searching his property, police found the recording, and he was later charged with 2 counts on assassination conspiracy in the hit of E Moneybags and another rapper he had put a hit out on. He was accused of paying $50,000 per hit, and in 2007, he began serving his life sentence at ADX Florence, a federal supermax prison in Colorado. In 2011, he was transferred to the United States Penitentiary, Lee, a high-security federal prison in Pennington Gap, Virginia. As of 2021, he is housed at USP McCrary in Pine Knot, Kentucky. Although he had been in prison for 16 years, Mcgriff is remembered in the streets of New York City as a dominant force in the dope world. The money, power, and respect he and his team commanded for a handful of years became an inspiration to an entire generation of hip-hop artists such as LL Cool J, Nas, and countless others. Unlike many criminals who turn to a life of crime out of need, Preem chose a street life voluntarily and ended up paying very dear.
A different type of person, different type of people, brother. This is different type of people, G. Yeah, you don't want to associate it. He don't want to associate himself with no damn Rick Ross and all this other shit that's going on. He's on a whole different level. He don't need none of that. He got his own. He got his own shit. He don't need none of that. People wasn't looking out for him. He's in his own shit. He's not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to hear none of this shit. That's what it is. He actually ain't with it. Young Buck over here, yo, you got everybody pick up this Buck over here, bro. He ain't playing, Young Buck. Yeah, Young Buck. Young Buck on. Young Buck doing it different, GG. Young Buck, the data.
Quit playing with dude. You know, I'm gonna say that much. Over and out. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. It's Buck, bitch. Y'all know what it is, bro. Hey, I ain't been on here in a long time. I'm finna let them see what the really going on with Buck. Hold up, baby. Hold up. I want some crab cakes, you dig? So this is what I'm doing. I ain't gonna tell y'all my ingredients because I know y'all hungry as hell out there. But just look at the wrist.
Buck.
Look.
Come on, Buck.
Tap.
You
know what
wanna
I'm saying?
You didn't want to promote his food, the data after he promoted Meech. You want to promote his. Alright, the data. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. That's what you're saying. I feel it, the data.
Stars to make a movie about his life, and you paid him shit for his life rights.
This is why the beef is really
before all the beef with 50 and all of that stuff. He came to Def Jam and presented a demo.
50?
Yeah, that's what he said. He says he presented a demo and you all rejected his demo.
I rejected him a lot. Like I was blocking him, just quite honestly, because he was shitting on us.
Even before there was beef?
He
Like
was shitting
early.
on us. Murder, your life's on the line.
That was early.
Nigga, he was
That was
shitting
like
on us from the
99.
conception of his career. He was coming at us. So anybody who called me, they would call me when he would leave the office and say, yo, 50's over with interest in something. I said, you fuck with him, you ain't fucking with me. Don't call me for no records, don't call me for nothing. So but I hated on him to where he landed with M and Dre.
Right.
I'm a way smarter person now. I would have fucking organized.
You get what I'm saying? Look at that. You hated on him till you die. Like he trying to say he hated on him to like that's crazy. That's crazy thinking about a dude that much.
His deal and controlled it. I could have controlled it because I was so hot. I could have let him sign with Atlantic or DJ Clue. Who's my man in Atlantic or Craig Cowman. I could have controlled that shit. And he would have never got dun.
Right.
He would have never got that Dre monster. You understand? But I done blocked this nigga to where he fell in the lap of Eminem, the biggest rapper in the universe with a white fan base that all became his fan base.
Right.
What is power? Maybe the better question is, how much of it?
He's hate out. He's trying to say he hate out.
That had nothing to do with nothing. You said loyalty. You use the word loyalty, and loyalty is everything, right? And I just said, Little Meech is loyal to 50 Cent. He said, fuck what my father did with Rick Ross. Fuck Rick Ross. I'll give you the shirt off my back. That's what he said to 50 Cent. 50 Cent turned around and said, fuck you, suck my dick, nigga. Ain't no next season. Then what does loyalty mean at the end of the day?
50's loyal to that money,
That's
son.
real. Hold on, let me finish. That's his son. It's self-explanatory.
So this is Little Meech texting 50 Cent. He says, they just told me you want to follow me off the Instagram, and now you managing Skilla, baby, with Rocket when I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act like as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty in human. I go through, he said, I'm human. If I say I'm human, I go through my own shit, but never switched up on you, right? So that's the first part of their particular text. Then he says, fuck Rick Ross. He gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until the next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, right? And 50 Cent responds by posting it on his Instagram and says, what next season, little nigga?
You thought you were special.
Did you just see what 50? Did you just see that 50 Cent had beef with some real individuals? You don't understand. I don't think I can still get into this. He had beef with some real life individuals. So believe it.
You really thought you were special. Who told you you were special? You thought you were special.
Yo,
50 Cent, Big Meech. 50 Cent, Big Meech. That's big talk out there.
Yeah, but why? But why is it so big?
I feel, you know why I feel? I feel that people in the street are saying that Meech is wrong because a lot of people in the streets still stuck in a certain mentality. You know what I mean? See, at the end of the day, true say, if I come home from prison and a nigga I don't know fed my family, gave him, I don't give a fuck if they gave him Chinese food. As far as I'm concerned, it's an alternative motive. You ain't love my family when I was home, so why you love my family that I'm gone? You dig? I think 50 played chess real good, and all of this here was part of the plan.
Wow. And that's another point of view. We even said it. He could have been holding back evidence because he knew what time it is.
Right,
But
like you gotta remember, 50, like you know, I ain't gonna be too long because you know I gotta move, right? But just remember that 50 and all these dudes we talking about, them old school rapper niggas, they was really caught up with the feds chasing them, and a lot of people died. There's a lot of bodies under these niggas' names, a lot of funerals, a lot of things going on in that circle. So it's impossible for 50 not to know what was going on with Big Meech.
50 knew what was going on, but he held it back. But damn, he didn't know that they was gonna come like that. But since they was coming like that, he's gonna come how he was. 50 Cent, you think that he's gonna build his little evidence or get his little shit going, or whatever the case may be. But anybody's like that. We see you doing something, we don't give a fuck, but if you ain't fucking with us, then we can roast you on it, GG. But that's just different though. This is a whole different subject because it's just like it gets bigger broadcast. You know what I'm saying?
Prior to the engagement of making these series and these films. You remember Southside?
Yo, wait up.
50 not BMF.
Yeah, I'm here.
Nah, he ain't BMF. And it's the same thing as if you've been locked up. So somebody that say, because some people believe that Meech ain't know that he had beef with Rick Ross. You know what I mean? That's like to sit there like, come on, bro. These niggas are special crowd. If you a hip hop man, you know what's going on, bro.
That's true, but you know what though? Just because you take care of my son while I'm in jail and I don't know you, I don't owe you anything except a thank you.
And guess what?
Yeah,
and some
thank
people,
you.
No, and when I never disagree with, I even told him like, but some people feel like you still owe them. Look at half of the people agree. There's 50 as both from sides. People saying, look, man, one is wrong, the other one is right.
No, ain't no thank you. Ain't no just thank you. Like you guys to do your thing. That's more than likely. He don't have to do that.
Other people saying the other one's right and the other one's wrong. All through the internet. But you said it yourself. Some people,
bunch of niggas that don't take care of their kids will say that shit.
People are still stuck on that old school way. But how could you blame them? Because we learn from the older niggas.
No, hold on.
All right, so if we learn from the older niggas, we also know.
Hold on. You got it twisted though. The old school way. How is it the old school way to be loyal to a fucking stranger?
Exactly.
What are y'all talking about?
The old school way. If you locked up, if I'm locked up and all three of us, me, you, philosopher, be all four of us in the same fucking facility, nigga, and Payne just send me a cigarette and some honey buns, no Diddy. Why is he sending me these items? I don't know this, man.
And guess what happened? It's on you to sit there.
Where do you want me loyalty for honey bun?
That's on you to sit there and eat that honey bun. You better be able to fight if that's the case.
Nah, that's
I'm
them country ass jails, my nigga, where the booty bandits is at. You was in the wrong spot.
Nigga, I heard that.
And smoke that cigarette. I owe Latin pain now.
That's not a New York prison shit. That's that South shit. They like booty down there, son.
Yeah, like niggas don't do that.
That's that niggas don't do that in New York.
I hope not.
And remember, Pain. Remember, everybody also philosopher. Yo, philosopher. Remember, you mentioned, niggas, trying to kill a seed while he was in the belly and all that good shit. Niggas got to remember the 50 Cent story for real, for real. He don't know if Preem is his pops or not. The nigga don't know his pops. He just know that niggas murked his moms. You know what I'm saying? And niggas ain't having it.
I said all of that. He don't know
Like 50, like these niggas got beef with real people behind the bar. Like the people that these niggas is talking about, the world.
Taking no 50 serious.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They like, listen, man. And then Big Meech don't know
that, you know what? Niggas want to test you when your gun go warm. 50 tested him thinking the gun cold because he just came home from the fast. 50.
That shit crazy, Dada. That shit's crazy. 50 have beef with some way different type people than Dada. So Big Meech and Dada, this shit's gonna be different than Dada because you gotta understand that the people that where 50 comes from, the Dada, nigga, they say that they allegedly his mom's passed, this, that, all that. That's crazy.
He bold like that. He's a troll. He's a proper troll.
And he set it up. He gave the family some food. You know what I'm saying? He knew you probably was going to get with Rick Ross when he came home, just so he could crush niggas and stay relevant in the game and dominate shit.
That's a fact. I agree with that shit.
Man.
I mean, why wouldn't he want a picture with Rick Ross? They call me Meech, Larry Hoover. Come on, why wouldn't he want a picture with the nigga? Why not?
All right, my brothers. I just wanted, speak my piece real quick. I'm gonna keep listening from the bushes and shit. You heard? Y'all stay safe out here. You heard?
Salute the big Subi. Salute.
You already know it. Rico Squad in the building. No fucks given. Behind the bar. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Salute.
But your air, what all do is I'm just trying to figure out, just trying to get to the bottom of why do you believe that because he took care of the nigga's son, the son was grown, who's making his own moves probably. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what does that have to do with me? He locked up. Whether he come home or not, the son was gonna do that.
I was gonna ask you a question. If we hanging out and I don't know you from nowhere, and we locked up, I'm just saying we in a place I don't know you from nowhere. Just because
no Preem don't know T from nowhere, the Dada. Where does Preem know T from the Dada? That's the case. Why they over here taking a picture with Preem's son, the Dada? Preem don't know these niggas from nowhere. He's like, yo, I don't know these niggas from nowhere, the Dada. I don't know these niggas. What the fuck they doing, the Dada? Like, what the fuck? This is a clout move, the Dada. This is a clout chase, the Dada. Same, you know what I'm saying? What you saying, GG's?
Who you is and your name. I ain't gotta know you from nowhere, but I'm gonna show you that loyalty, Latin pain. Cause you Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah,
hold on. The chain reaction.
So I got a question for you, philosopher. You know, Little Meech was loyal to 50 Cent, according to the text message he sent him and said, "What my dad did, I got nothing to do with me." And 50 Cent still turned his back on the son that the son is loyalty to. So what does loyalty mean at the end of the day?
Yeah, 50 ain't even being loyal himself.
Hold on, y'all. Let me answer it. That's his son. That's his seedling. That's his seed, bro. That's his son, bro. And for y'all to sit there like y'all don't know that, that's his son, bro. No matter at the end of the day.
What you mean being loyal to who? Why would he be loyal to his son, the Dada? His son's a little nigga, the Dada. So he's like, yo, we gonna have to fuck with this person. We gonna be your dad's actually getting into it, the Dada. It is what it is, nigga.
Answer the question. That had nothing to do with nothing.
That had nothing to do with nothing.
You said loyalty. You use the word loyalty, and loyalty is everything, right? And I just said, Little Meech is loyal to 50 Cent. He said, fuck what my father did with Rick Ross. Fuck Rick Ross. I'll give you the shirt off my back.
Yeah, but he can't fucking take into consideration because he don't understand what he's doing. 50 Cent get PTSD, the Dada, real shit. He got anxiety, the Dada, so he don't trust you. He don't trust nobody. You don't see that people actually came out that he coming from his mom passed it away. These people passed away a lot. Like, what you talking about?
That's what he said to 50 Cent. 50 Cent turned around and said, fuck you, suck my dick, nigga. Ain't no next season. What does loyalty mean at the end of the day?
Yeah, nah. It means that I can't fuck with you, the Dada. It means I gotta stay away from you and everybody else, the Dada. Because once I don't trust somebody, I don't trust nobody, the Dada. Nobody. You don't trust nobody.
Today.
50's loyal to that money,
That's
son.
real. Hold on, let me finish. That's his son. It's up.
Nah, he just don't understand that money, the Dada. That money, the Dada, is different, the Dada. He ain't loyal to the money. He just ain't trying to. He knows how to play his cards, the Dada, and he ain't with just letting people just be coming at him, the Dada. He ain't with none of that, the Dada. So that's how it actually goes, the Dada. He ain't with Little Meech. He don't understand it. So he's like, yo, I gotta back up from all these people. If I let him get close to me, then how the hell I'm gonna be able to manage here. You can't manage. You can't manage. You can't manage that. Shit gets a little hectic. It gets a little hectic too quick. And when it gets a little hectic too quick, you don't understand. So now, Supreme jumped in it. Supreme said, "I'm not in this. I'm not vouching for these people. You know who these people are? How can I vouch for them? I'm not vouching for them. How can you vouch for them? We ain't vouching for them." So shit happens to be getting a little. And shit gets a little. Shit's going crazy. And then the Cuffy situation, all this shit. I thought this was such a lie. Mickey just they're gonna be chilling and shit like that, but this is real. Now 50 Cent, Biggie trying to fool him and all this shit was that up. That's crazy. And it's just situations going crazy. The data. Shit got real, bro. Now these things, now should we take? Well, what's gonna happen? Do we watch BMF? We don't watch BMF, and BMF's gonna be like BMF is actually a straight move. BMF is actually straight. The data. That's a fact. The data. BMF is actually good to go. GG. So we gotta stay more aware than ever. The data. BMF is actually a show to watch. GG. And that's where we headed. But they don't understand the situations that's going on. So we gotta understand what's really going on. We gotta understand how deep it goes. We gotta understand what's really going on behind the scenes. There's real people that's coming out. Supreme ain't a person. Supreme's a real person to be speaking out. When he's speaking out, that's some real shit. So him just speaking out, it's gonna hit different. It's gonna hit different. Mcgriff ain't a person. Well, he's not a person. He's not a person that's speaking it. It's something new happening. Something new always happening with 50 Cent and Big Meech and 50 Cent. Like, chill out, GG. This is going crazy. This is getting too crazy, bro. I don't understand why
and detached himself from his own son. We talking about bruh, twin for real. That's his flesh, his blood. And if 50 Cent is willing to do that to his own seed, nobody's safe when you go against him. Now, Rick Ross got Big Meech to host his car show. After 50 Cent went on his tirade, calling Big Meech a rat, Rick Ross responded and called him out for being mad because he's doing with Big Meech now.
Look a picture with Rick Ross. You like back against the wall and just slide down.
You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want you to understand, you got to stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these, know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you for the last 15 years. Everything you touch crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this personal. We get into the money now. Big Meech, February 13th. That concert gonna be off the book. Putting his foot up, you even it in your intestine. You know what's going.
Supreme didn't want to hear that. He didn't want to hear this shit. He didn't want to hear this shit. He didn't want to hear this shit. He honestly didn't want to hear this shit though.
Told me, oh, whack you, Trip. I said, 50's about to turn on that. Explain something to you, bro. This real shit. When you a real homie, sometimes you got to think for him, right? Ross knew what he was doing. Uncle Murder is my man. That's my brother. We can send each other up the river today, right? Once me and Murder and Monster put together the play to bring him and Game back together, and 50 was allowing that to work, it was cool. But I knew what that did was show 50 how close me and Murder really was. When I woke up and 50 win that game for no reason, I knew what that was. So you know what I intentionally do? I give my bro some distance because I don't want 50 looking at him no kind of way. I know how he think. If he even he look up and I'm on the FaceTime, I'm sharing something, me and Murder on the jack, he'll get away from Murder. Anything that he remotely think is playing the 50, he gonna get away from your ass quick. Now this situation, I called it. I said, oh, he finna go at me. He finna disassociate himself, right? Now this is an easy one to put together. Before Tammy even come out, we gotta ask ourselves, what would make that been operating doing this for decades and decades turn on it? Let me see if y'all can figure this one out. This is easy. Got out and paroled back to Lil Meech mama. This a fact. As soon as I seen him parole back,
He back. Yeah, he back
nigga,
with
and this bitch been out here running the field. Listen, who you think Tammy called? Remember, her and 50 business partners. She the one control the pen.
That's a
She
fact.
got the power from this. You know how she been working the third party cooperation. Who you think she called? I can't believe this. Baby, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep you in play. Because now the POA could go away. He home now. He can try to take control. Don't worry about nothing. I'm going to make sure you in play. My word to that, don't trip. What you need to do is put some safety on yourself. Now 50 thinking you go against this who been holding these secrets, who been holding you down, you will go against anybody. 50 wanted, like I am, it's a whole lot of information on. Right now, I don't say nothing until you make me say something. Just because I got it don't mean I'm going to use it. If you cool, I'm cool. You get out of line, I'm going to expose fire immediately. Think about it. There's no way he could be responding in this way if Meech was in control of the. He wouldn't show his hand. This what he done. He's doing is, right, everybody on Clubhouse is chatty patties. I'm definitely a chatty patty on Clubhouse. That's what I do, chat. Actually, I'm on the floor. A lot of the chatters are down there in the chat. So, what 50 doing right now, bro, in his head, he made BMF relevant. He made it relevant to the world in his head. He gonna claim that. I know what it was before, but it was dead and over with. He was in jail. His son was just running around here fake rapping. I brought it back. So what 50 about to do? He already got his money. He ain't got his money up all did with it already. Now I'm gonna burn it down, discredit it, so you can't do nothing else with it. Explain something to you. Tammy Cohen is the third party cooperating. He has the life rights because this signed them over to her, bro, because she was doing all the third party line, try to get him out of jail early. It just didn't work because she's federal agent, right? I got to work on all that. I got to work with his name on it, everything, right? You talking about when that lady is a lady. That bitch not
Everyone
a
got
gang
that
member.
paperwork.
This is what gets me. I just don't understand the situation. Like I'm saying, so everybody got their own life. GG, I'm gonna let that shit be known. But damn, why does everybody saying? Even Supreme Son said like you already knew about it before. A lot of people saying you already knew about it before. Knew about what before? Can people start commenting what Did 50 know before he started messing with him? Before what? What did he know? What did he know before he started messing with him? What was that he knew? What is it that he knew? We want to know what that y'all saying that he knew. Why is y'all just everybody just saying, yo, you already know about it? You already so y'all already know about it? Y'all all know about it. Everybody already knows. Knows what? Please tell me what y'all know. I would love to know what the hell y'all know. What is it that y'all know so much? Please inform us.
Neutrogena had
inform me what everybody knows so bad that oh, you already knew. What? What did he know? What did he know? Knew what? Huh? What are you talking about? So what you saying? So he mess with him, you mess with him.
Right? Nobody's gonna care about when she sits down and says, yes, that was my man, and yes, he directed me to do this. I signed up for third-party cooperation. We can get him a time reduction. Boom, 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 boom. I am CI number one.
That's the only thing that goes over my head when people say, yo, he already knew. And I'm just like, what did he already know? Oh, nah, he already knew. 50 Cent already knew. 50 Cent already knew. Everybody already knows. What? Everybody knows what? Everybody already knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. He's just a good dude, Everybody knows, Everybody knows. Knows what? What do people motherfucking know, Gigi? We got to understand this. What is it that someone, can you please tell me what do they know? That what? What is it that they know? What?
Whoop, as stipulated right here. She got all her. Ain't nobody gonna look at her no kind of way. They gonna look at him.
Hey, yo, but Wack, I'm gonna just say this, right, Wack? I hear what you saying, Wack, and I feel that, Wack, but Wack, man, 50 did do business with Tammy, though, man. Like,
oh, what's wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm
just saying. All know Tammy's a third-party cooperator. That's no mystery.
He didn't do no street with her.
No, he did his business. Listen, I talk to Cuffy every 2 weeks, his daughter. I've been helping him on it.
No, I understand that, Rap. When he said it, people were trying to blow it. You're 100% right. No one's saying that. But the point is, I'm a real and have to hear from him but his code.
Yeah, but you don't.
Once the paperwork showed that she was the
let me explain
CI.
something to you.
That's crazy. The crazy part is the crazy part is Gigi. They over here saying, oh shit, 50 was working with her too though. What that makes 50? But what do that make Meech? What do that actually make Meech, Dandada? Like, what does that make Meech?
And when he turned that camera on that woman, it's game to
Absolutely. They're going to write it in the last year, the last season. Meech was the rat. He cooperated with her. They're going to write it in.
No. He's going to do an exclusive on this woman as her. I think you missing the boat.
Man, that boat got holes in it.
Huh? They got to do is sit that lady as who she is in front of that camera and let her know I'm whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. This is who I am. I'm God number this right here. And these documents, I was instructed by Meech, who was my man, to orchestrate and work with the government to try to get you out your mind.
Wack,
you better go talk to R. Kelly. Go back to R. Kelly. I'll survive and R. Kelly did it.
Hey, Wack. Well, let me say this, right, Wack? Now, what if Meech do some petty shit?
50 once he write one off, he write them all off. He don't give a
fuck. He ain't fucking with Little Meech. He ain't fucking with Little Meech. Nah, because Little Meech ain't gonna turn on me. He ain't gonna turn on him. He ain't turning on him.
Listen, hey, boy, because 50 is his daddy.
No, 50 is the reason why he's successful. Yeah.
He didn't get exposed to nothing from his father.
We know that. We know that he's successful right now because of the BMF and 50 giving him the opportunity. Ain't no question about that. But
if it's gone, he's gone. It don't even matter.
He idolized his father.
Gotti. He's only burning it down because he wanted to buy you. It can't do nothing else with it. Yeah. He don't give what Lil Meech go do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he don't. He don't. There ain't no question. He don't.
He don't come out there.
Hey, Wack, you know how 50 play, man.
No, we can play, but right now he's playing corny role.
Hey, Gotti, I'm the same way. I swear to God, I'm the same way. I think this is why I said, okay, this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. I knew he was gonna do. Everybody said, Wack, you bugging. I said, watch it. He gonna turn on that first way. He's up right there. Straight up. I'm the same way. I don't. Oh, wait, that's what you on? Got you. Let me holler at you. Nah. Because if you could have got away with it, you would have. Stay where you at. My move.
Yeah, but it ain't looking like a good move on 50, man. Because like I said,
Yes,
he cooperated. He
What are
knew
you
he was
talking
he
about,
knew he
bro?
was doing business with a cooperator, man. He knew it.
Bro, he did business with Tammy.
So what did I make 50 the data? What did I make me? What did I make me? That's different. I know. Niggas say he's a rat. Oh, but he was a rat. He was working with him. He's not the rat. That's like saying Kodak goes to China with the rat. It's different. Go different. Shit gets real.
Disloyal. It was death before dishonor when they were a drug crew, but deep down, I think they have their little ways. So little Meech, we know what's going on. I don't have to keep telling you guys what's going on. And also, 50 Cent made some more posts. Remember, it was said he deleted all the posts because he was pressed by Big Meech. Well, he's showing, no, I'm not scared of anybody, and I'm still going forward with the Tammy Cohens documentary that exposes Big Meech. So, we got Big Meech linking with Rick Ross throwing a hissy fit when he didn't get his way, 50 Cent giving him more power in the show and more money. And the same thing happened with his brother Southwest T a couple years ago when he said free preem, trying to get, it's a childish way to try to get your way. It actually makes it so you'll never get your way because now it's personal. So 50 Cent put this up and he says, Big Screech. And then he says, he puts this up and he says, I think I'm Big Screech, Larry Hoover. So he's just showing here, yeah, nobody's telling me to do anything. 50 removes his posts often. Now Little Meech links with ops. Remember Slowbucks that he got beat up on the Summer Jam stage? He was tricked into going on the stage with 50. He used to be down with 50 Cent back in the day. But they beat him up because he was talking smack about...
Yo, Little Meech is crazy for that, Dada. Little Meech is crazy for that one, Dada. Little Meech, what you doing, bro? Why you even moving like that? What is that gonna cause, Dada? Like, what is that going? Why you with Slowbucks, bro? Like, are you slow? Like, why would you with Slowbucks? And I ain't trying to come at you because everybody who they are, Dada, you could say that that was the security guard's gun and everything. Because if it was a security guard gun, it is what it is. It's a security guard's gun and shit like that. But he was a little shaken up, Dada, and nice what you make it, bro. So what are you going over there for? What? Maybe you're going there for a reason. Who knows? Maybe you're just linking up with people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Maybe that's just what it is. Maybe that's just what it is.
There's floating around on why he actually got out 10 years early. I've been consuming a lot of content and doing my own work on why he actually got out. And I was watching No Jumper, and Brick Baby said something that sparked a light bulb in my thoughts and started to make me think.
I can tell you every story, then I can tell you what's gonna be the biggest politic right now. What I'm saying is, no, they trying to already put the word out that he used the girl third party to tell why he was in jail. That's gonna be his biggest politic. He gonna go for it because at the end of the day,
You know that. You know, Mr. Put Little Dirk right where he belongs, Dada. That's what you claim, Dada. That is fucked up, Dada. Like, what are you like? This dude, he's different, bro. And he puts out, and of course, he's the one that sparked that, Dada. What do you know, Dada? How do you know all this? How does they put the information? It comes right to you. Look at the dude on the side of him looking at him like, oh yeah, we know how he knows. He always come out with the good information. I wish I was a good DEA agent, Interpol. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking, GG?
I'm gonna just no for real, because I already seen like 4 videos about it. That's my big homie. I salute, 'cause I got this death before dishonor tatted. I never dug into, they had tried to X Blue Da Vinci out for taking a proper all that. Oh, they ain't did nothing but show me. I was 17 years old when I got into that custody.
After he said that, I started to do my homework and came across an interview with Blue Da Vinci on Cam Capone News. And they had a conversation with a guy by the name of Cuffy, where he claimed Big Meech coerced an informant named Tammy to set him up and get him 27 years.
How did Meech have information?
Almost 30 years.
I'm Tamara Gatling. I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life.
That's heartbreaking.
I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels. And there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts. And hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie. So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cohens. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie. Finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was. And he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cohens. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to like reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out. So on. So on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb. I'm not about to call an informant.
The more digging I did, the more information I found. And from the looks of it, Cuffy been pushing this narrative of Big Meech being a rat, being an informant, being a snitch for about 15 years. And I came across a jail phone call where Cuffy explained it all. But before we get to this content, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes. I need a quick 20. So hit that like button on your way in. If we pass 100, I need 500 likes. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 likes. I need y'all to turn me up. I'm back on my grind right now. I'm digging. I'm doing my homework. All
right, so if Cuffy explained it all, I guess that people just turning left cheek to it.
Marketing specialists over the years. Wow. That's my whole thing. So when I was with The Source, I met a lot of people, did a lot of things. When I worked with Vibe, I met a lot of people. But my thing is always being a humble, nice guy. So, a lot of times people get in positions, they arrogant and they miss all the connects. I'm the humble guy. I want to talk to the quiet in the corner and this person right here and the mopping the floor, because you never know how circumstances change. You need all types of people in your corner. But so I got with Sosa, I got connected through Sosa because at the time I was doing what I'm doing, helping Pops. They brought me to Pops and they was like, yeah, he got a record label. He needs some help. He needs some consulting. Can you help him? And that's how I started my relationship with the family, you know, from that point. I met, you know, Meech and most of the top guys. At the time, I was living around the corner with an OG named Michael Concepcion. And so I would go.
Real, dang, and Meech been going back and forth. And Mitch got all them posters, all them posters still on his page and shit, GG. So this just goes, you gonna see how people is, I don't know what's gonna happen, Like, I don't think no one actually cares. I don't know why. I don't know.
Neighborhood, make sure nobody was following me to go to Pop's house once things got hot. So that's pretty much where I did my business. When I with them, I had a time limit. It was business. I stayed at the house for 15, 20 minutes, shake some hands and leave. I never hung out, was a hanger on and groupie and doing none of that shit, because I knew that if I did that, would look at me different. You know what I'm saying? So
But I understand that the higher power, understands that done. When you stay down, you are down, and you are who you are, it sheds the light on a way different. You are a whole different person. You actually still something. You can't be a weak person. My man raised no weak nigga. My man raised no pussy. So stay righteous, GG's.
Just came, handle my business. When you saw them at the Source Awards and they was all in them seats getting the shout outs and they had the 4-page spread, you know, that was all my connects back at the time, because Benzino asked me, yo, Cal, what's up with these dudes? They good? I was like, yeah, them is solid, man. They good people. Because when I met Pops, I really didn't know anything that was going on. All I knew is he had a record company and he needed help with marketing. So I had that girl.
Who is Pops? Who do you call him Pops?
Pops is Wayne, Wheezy.
Oh, Wheezy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, I was lost when you said Pops.
Yeah. I always called him Pops or Wheezy, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
So henceforward, you know, I was around when things was, you know, kind of started going bad, and Pops got me with another writer who was a guy who used to be the former editor of Rolling Stone. He was trying to get us, you know, to put the whole story together and all that. And at the same time, I ran into a familiar person. I was put with this woman named Tammy Cohens. Tammy was communicating with me regarding, you know, her position, trying to help. They basically said, Cal, help Tammy. And because they knew that at the time, Tammy, you know, she didn't know. Now, let me tell you what I know that was weird. Tammy was communicating with me, communicating. She was telling me everything was going on. And then one day she disappeared. She ghosted me. And I could never figure it out. And I'm going to tell you something. The first time I met her in person at the Intercontinental in Buckhead. And she came across very striking, but it was something I couldn't put my finger on, because I was like, how does this type of woman get involved? I couldn't figure it out, because she seemed so out of place. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't question it. I just did what I was asked to do, which was to look out for the family. So I was looking out, trying to connect with her. I was dealing with Tony at the time. They were trying to do their little BMF wide. Long story short, I held Wayne down the entire time he was out in jail. Took care of some things for him. So when he came home, you know, we had already been writing on the story based on Pop's perspective and involvement. And then he put me with Sosa, and Sosa blew my head off, because no one in the organization, no one around could tell me about the old school shit. All I could tell me is about, you know, going forward from California, how everything came to be.
So this is the beginning of them starting to write BMF and who was involved into writing BMF, how did the writing occur to writing BMF, and people started to write the story, but all these stories, is on different people's perspectives. So who knows if these stories got mishandled or got fucking, you know what I'm saying, fixed up and
Long before all of that, you feel me?
Right.
Those is a day one. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And see, Meech, I'm the first to put $1 million in his pocket. He never seen that till he came to the loop. You feel me?
I heard about you, dog. I heard you was just an outstanding dude, man. Take care of your business, and your reputation in a good way preceded itself. So I understand now, based on from what we've dealt with and seen with this whole thing with Tammy, man. Speak on that for me.
What Meech and Tammy did is called it, because you're not in the system. Thank God you're not. I hate to see brothers in this system, but brothers who are familiar with this system, it's a nasty, nasty system. What Meech and Tammy third-party cooperation. What happened was...
This call is from a federal prison.
Originally, I was put with Tammy. I paid for the script. I paid $250,000. That's my script. That's why 50 when he came in, because we put a assistant cease order in through my attorney. That's why they couldn't do a motion picture. That's why you didn't see the BMF story on the big screen. So 50 ran it through this, and he ran that other that he do. So what happened was, homie, was I wasn't even the original target. They wanted to get a little Mexican. He's actually a cartel member out of L.A. named Suarez. You'll see his name in the paperwork, Fidel Suarez. He was their initial target. You feel me?
Right.
He was their initial target. But with me calling in while they were trying to set up Fidel Suarez, she clicked over and told the agents who was listening to her and Suarez, hold on, this is Cuff. And when they heard the name Cuff, they went, and that's when her and Meech turned the scheme toward me. You feel me? So what it did was, this is what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to give Meech a time cut for her cooperation and set me up. But also, it kills two birds with one stone. It puts me in jail, and now they don't have to split any of the revenue with me. My buddy and my partner along with me his name is Louis Burrell. That's MC Hammer's big brother.
That's who Tammy was coming out here to see.
That was me.
And I'm gonna tell you the year. That was 2015. No, that was like 14.
Way earlier than that. It started way earlier than that. Way earlier than that. Around 2010, homie. Way earlier than that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta go way back.
We put $50 million on the table through Lionsgate Films, through Louis Burrell's connection in the movie industry up there. Now, what we did not know is why Tammy would turn down that deal with me and Louis Burrell getting 20% of that budget. You understand what I'm saying? For a finder's fee. So what ended up happening was we didn't know that they had other plans and that she was sleeping with the feds and that they would put me off in prison and run away with my script and don't have to give me anything. So it was supposed to give me a time cut and knock me out of my percentage, me and Louis Burrell out of our percentage for the finder's fee with Lionsgate's film. Well, Lionsgate, when Louis went, so they backdoored us. Lionsgate shot it down when Louis Burrell wasn't no longer a part of it. You feel me?
Right.
So Tammy's whole thing fell apart. Meech couldn't get a time cut because they found out Tammy has no credibility. Because when you can't have a relationship with a federal agent, now you have no credibility. So they thing blew up. They thing fell off.
I said, fuck them all up. What the hell? Yo. Meech, this is too crazy, This is too crazy, This is, it's all like, it is what it is.
Story. Usually there are people that are there to disagree with the facts. And that is happening right now with 50 Cent's new Stars TV series, BMF, aka Black Mafia Family, which is a true story that happened, and one of its former members disagrees with the show and is worried about how they're going to talk about him on the show. So there was a former rapper by the name of Blue Da Vinci on the BMF record label at the time when BMF was popping and before they got locked up. Before we continue the video, I want to give a big shout out to YouGov for sponsoring today's video.
Oh, ain't nobody wrong.
For recommending YouGov, L, and my thoughts on Adele and her new.
There's nobody wrong on the story that they got. Nobody's wrong. Blue Da Vinci could put out his own, the way that he's seen it. Everybody got their own eyes. They view things differently. You're going to see different things. If you're viewing the same thing, everybody's going to have their own opinion on what they see. You might not be looking at the same thing when you're looking at it. You might not be able to see. Some people might see it all. Some people might just see a couple things, but you could see. And everybody got their opinion on how it became a situation.
It started on Stars with 50 Cent and Big Meech's son, Lil Meech, being the main actor. And when a show gets started and you weren't asked anything about that show and you had a pivotal role in being part of that group that's being documented, something's going to go left And usually it does. And of course, you can't control everything that is said about you if you are a public figure. You know, there's going to be documentaries made about you that you can't control that are ultimately going to be released. And that's the case with this situation. If you guys remember back in 2015/14, Suge Knight ended up running over somebody during the Straight Outta Compton set because he felt like they were going to do a character on him without his approval. And then he ended up, you know, going crazy and just running that person over. Now he's locked up for life. And these are things that you can't control if you're a public figure. There's going to be documentaries made about you that aren't approved by you. And it just is what it is. Sometimes you got to just take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving. But Blue Da Vinci feels differently. He basically released a video on Instagram threatening everybody that has a role in making this Black Mafia family TV show on Stars. And that's including 50 Cent and Lil Meech, which is Big Meech's son.
So I try not to beef with people. I'm grown. You know, you was a they doing a BMF TV show. So what? I'm dealing with more money than they finna use to create the whole mother TV show. Who gives a and 50 Cent run it out? I don't give 50 Cent ain't got to do with BMF. That ain't mother sold one dime rock in the park. Man, I don't give about none of that. All the little weak that he got running around with that shit, man, that ain't shit, boy. Well, I'm finna come outside. I'm coming outside. That's it. That's it, bro. You're gonna have to have me with BMF and all my people to come out to make it make sense against me or something like that. Man, stop playing. I birthed. Man, watch out. My that was knocking all down. What's up? Them my people. And if they don't like me, them too. How about that? Now, what's happening? All right, I'm off the rah-rah. So let's get back to getting the money. Hey, Ken, 88 East. What's going on, bro? I need some good diamond. I need some diamond. I got some diamond, some GMO diamond over here. Not diamonds that we wear, but Ken, I need me some good diamond, man. I need some good diamond. I got a couple rigs over here, electronic rigs, Puffco rigs. Shout out to Puffco. You feel me? I got the handheld Easy Go electronic rig. Then I got the electronic rig with the $500 glass on it like that. So come on, Ken, look out for your boy, man. I know you got me, man. I know them terps you got is like, no, I ain't gonna be in the BMF series. That BMF series, they ain't finna be able to use my name in that motherfucker. They gonna have to use somebody else's name and they gonna have to guess. It's gonna be the person that's making everything happen. That'll probably be me. And that's when it gets to the BMF part. Everything else is really Big Meech's life story. So they're gonna see Big Meech as a young dude or whatever. It should be a great program. One thing I can say about 50 Cent is that man puts together some great for us to sit down and watch after we didn't got money all day. And we can go sit and watch Power or BMF. Only thing I'm saying is if they handle my name wrong, everybody already know. I'm coming to see you. So now play with it if y'all want. The writers, the producers, the directors, the executive producer, everybody. Y'all play with my name. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all play with my name. It's up. Period. And there will be no more shooting that. There will be no more filming that. I'm going to try to find a way to up everything about it if I play with my name. Now, as soon as I get the first report, hey, bro, they over here playing with your name, I'm coming. Just already know how your security beefed up, all the police, how you run around with, and all that. I have all that. I'm going to give it to them too. I ain't finna play with my name. I'm going to go all the way out by my name. My kids not finna go through life with people playing with my name. That's a wrap.
And of course, after this threat, 50 Cent ended up responding. A couple of people from BMF ended up responding, and even the game's former manager, Wack 100, ended up defending Blue Da Vinci. Blue Da Vinci had ended up getting accused of snitching towards Black Mafia family when he got locked up because of the little time that he served. Wack 100, however, says otherwise and said that documentation proves he did.
Wack said he did, though. Wack said he did, actually. I say he did.
Rights and creative control, the right to tell and presumably sell Filoni's life story for profit. And of course, 50 Cent responded to this because Blue Da Vinci at one point wanted to do a TV show or a movie about BMF, but never got the chance to. Quite a few people actually wanted to do it, but of course, 50 Cent ultimately got the rights to do it from Big Meech himself. So 50 responds saying, I thought your idea to use my idea was a great idea, in the photo caption. And then in his caption, he said, it's a good thing I don't talk about things I don't already have the right to, fool. And then he continues and reposts a video from J-Bo, who's from BMF, which is a video making fun of Blue Da Vinci being a fan of Lil Meech and BMF. And it's just a meme video with his head photoshopped on the movie scene. And then 50 reposted that video. And in the caption, he said, "Cooperator," meaning Blue Da Vinci is a snitch. Following that, 50 Cent ended up posting a letter he got from Big Meech himself, thanking 50 Cent for doing the BMF show. In the message, this is what Big Meech said to 50. "Keep in touch so we can talk about the 3rd and 4th episode and whatever you want out there, doing all the positive vibes. I really love 50 for helping us make all of this happen for us. It's like he's the only one to sincerely come through and put us on the 100% legitimate, successful path. And he never owed us shit, but gave us everything when almost all the sports and entertainers I've known most of my life never spoke up or helped us get on the path to legitimacy. What 50 has done for us, to me, is priceless, and there's nothing we, meaning you and I, won't do for him if ever needed. I love you, son, with all my heart for life and death. Your dad, the real Big Meech, BMF immortal." And then in the caption, 50 said, "Where is everybody at? Oh, I know you was going to get around to it, right? Whatever, just tune in to BMF this weekend. Green light, gang." And of course, Lil Meech, Big Meech's son, commented saying, "You the realest." And Boogie from BMF ended up clowning Blue Da Vinci as well and posted a caption on his Instagram saying, "Blue Da Vinci tripping. The series just started. We got like 2 to 3 seasons till it's time for you to snitch." And in the caption, he said, "Your time almost here, champ Blue Da Vinci. Just hold on." He continued it on and posted an article basically revealing the fact that Blue Da Vinci ended up snitching. In this article, it says McKnight received a 5-year sentence, 8 months less than the government's recommendation, due in part to the fact that he agreed to share information with authorities. That information was not useful, however, because the government already had built most of its case against BMF. McKnight also was not willing to testify against other defendants. He would have liked to have cooperated if he could have, his attorney David said, but he didn't have any useful information. McKnight released one album, The World Is BMF's, on Big Meech's record label. Early in his career, he performed alongside rappers such as Young Jeezy, who also had been linked to BMF. Jeezy has not been charged with the crime in relation to the cocaine crew. A tearful McKnight addressed the court at the end of the sentencing. He said he got involved in BMF, the record label, as a rapper and took a detour into BMF, the cocaine ring. He also said that Big Meech, who treated him like a little brother, tried to steer him away from the cocaine trade. Demetrius did not show that part of his world. When I met him, McKnight said, "I got onto the wrong side of it." And then he ended up captioning and tagging Whack 100 saying, "Ask Blue Da Vinci about this for me. He got me blocked. Good looking OG, appreciate you." So in this basically article, and this is what's been reported for quite some time, is that Blue Da Vinci ended up saying, "Hey, I never knew anything about the drug stuff. I was just a rapper and I had nothing to do with this." And of course, members of BMF called bullshit on that, because he did rap about what a lot of the people in BMF were doing, especially on a Smack DVD, where he basically named everything in that DVD. And that DVD was actually used in court when they all got locked up. So he was well aware of what BMF was doing. And he basically would have testified, but he didn't have any useful information, is what his lawyer said. So it's a weird situation for Blue Da Vinci. It's a weird situation.
Well, that's what they say in the data, but it's the same thing. Damn, so big. They did what they all did the same thing, and they all expose each other. That's just what happened. Yo, GG's, the daughters, hyenas, scuba divers, learn for scuba seas, stay more righteous than never. The daughter win the elevator, who's elevator, God's elevators. The daughter, you heard. You put God first, and ask you how you did it. God simply works. The daughter, God chose you because he knew he could trust you. God's best kept secret. The daughter, y'all stay more righteous than ever. You heard. Give y'all opinion on what should be going on, because this is crazy, the data. And when y'all handle it in Supreme's name, please handle it with care, the data, because he don't conduct nothing that's going on with what people got going on. He probably didn't even fuck with niggas, the data. They over there got a show with 50. He probably didn't fuck with him when it was in there. Who knows, the data? You never know what's going on, GG. People just state the most, GG, but we gotta stay more aware than ever. You heard? So GG's, the daughters, hyenas, ooh.